Good morning. Welcome to Committee Adjustment hearing today. In accordance with Sections 45 and 53 of the Planning Act 1990 as amended, this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment of the City of Toronto is called to order. Committee of Adjustment consider applications for variances from the provisions of the zoning that applies to property and permission to extend or alter lawful non-conforming uses, and also consent to serve a property to create new lots. And my name is Yim Chen. I will be chairing today's meeting. And also I'd like to introduce a panel member today. From my far left is Mr. Peter Reed and Ms. Casey Placier, and also Ann Crawford, and Mr. Dino Lombardi. And our Deputy Secretary Treasurer today is Ms. Sabrina Salatino. And I also would like to acknowledge the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anasazi, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. And now is home to many diverse nations, First Nations, Inuit, Métis people. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Committee of Adjustment public hearings are now conducted in a hybrid in-person and virtual format. Some participants will make their presentations in person, and others will participate virtually through WebEx. And also is streamed on the Toronto City Planning YouTube channel, and anyone wishing to view the hearing may watch on YouTube. Those who want to participate virtually and have registered in advance will be connected with their computer, tablet, smartphone, or telephone, and have the options of participating via video or audio only. All virtual. Oh, okay. So sorry, that's we have to fix something here. We want to exit, and then we enter.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, is it like because of the here?
No. There was just no video.
Through you, Madam Chair, we'll just hold for a second.
It's on the WebEx, right? It's down here, connect, but you don't want that connect.
Oh. All right. Okay. we resume. So I will continue. Those who want to participate virtually have registered in advance will be connected with the computer, tablet, smartphone, or telephone, and have the options of participating via video or audio only. And all virtual participants will be automatically muted on entry. And when your item is called, you will be unmuted by the moderator, one person at a time. We also ask you to mute your devices until you're called to speak. And those participating by video appearance will be temporarily upgraded to panelists when your item is being held. During this time, your camera will be enabled, and you will only be visible during your 5-minute speaking time. At all other times, your video will be disabled and you will be restated as attendee. For both in-person and virtual participants, committee adjustment staff will share presentations submitted in accordance with the written deadlines. Those participating through WebEx are not allowed to use share screen or any other panelist control during a video appearance. And people attending in person today who want to receive a copy of the decisional committee on an application must fill out the decision request card. And those participating virtually need to submit a written request for decision by email. And please ensure that you include your name, address, and email address, because the committee adjustment and the Toronto local appeal body, the TLAB, will be sending notifications and appeal updates by email. And if you do not agree with the decisional committee adjustment, you may be able to appeal the decision to TLAB, which is the local, Toronto local appeal body, or in some limited circumstances to the Ontario Land Tribunal. However, the provincial government amended the Planning Act and generally removed rights of third parties to appeal committee adjustment decisions. Only the applicant, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, specified persons, and those public bodies as those terms are defined in the Planning Act are permitted to appeal decisions of the committee adjustment, and appeal instructions are set out at the bottom of the decision of the committee. And the following is the procedure of the hearing. Is when an application is uncontested, agent or applicant may proceed with their presentation if desired. When the committee does not require presentation, applicants are advised to the chair should they wish to speak to the committee, and the committee may ask questions and or take the matter into committee for decision. Each speaker, including applicant or the agent, will be given a maximum of 5 minutes to address the committee, and I will comment when you are reaching your 5 minutes. And any presentations or other materials you wish to submit to the committee must have been emailed in advance of the hearing. Staff and committee members cannot accept material at the hearing. When addressing the committee, please clearly state your name and address, and please remember to confine your remarks to the matters outlined in the application. The applicant or agent will proceed first and will make a presentation to the committee. And please note that the committee might not entertain revisions to proposal at the hearing today. The committee might decide to deter the application if substantially revised, to ensure that the revised application is accurate and that all those entitled to notice of the applications are informed of the changes. And then individuals either in opposition or opposed to the application will be invited to speak. Generally, we will call the speakers in the hearing room and then move on to online participants. And committee members may ask questions of each speaker after they have finished their presentation. When all the speakers are finished, the applicant or agent has an opportunity to rebut only those issues raised by the speakers. And this will mark the end of the discussion. And the application will be then taken into a committee for decision. And for the morning session, I'd like to know whether there are any declarations or conflict of interest from the staff and from the panel members. And I myself will declare a conflict of interest on item 15, and because the next door neighbor is a very good friend of mine. So then we move to, we also like to know whether there's some file closed.
Through you, Madam Chair, good morning
Yeah.
to you and the panel members. Let's deal with the minutes for adoption.
okay, there's a couple of minutes.
The March 11th, 2026 minutes
Yes.
are ready for adoption.
Okay, can I have a motion to adopt those? Okay, Mr. Plessier, yes, okay, adopt, motion, all, second, Mr. Lombardi? Yep. And all in favor to adopt those, yeah, it's adopted. Okay,
Through you, Madam Chair, we also have a file that was previously with the members. The owner of the property no longer wants to pursue the application. It was deferred. The file is 102 Elm Avenue, file number A0876/24TY. The applicant has requested to withdraw and close this file. No refund issued.
Okay, no
So I'll need a motion.
do we need a motion? Okay, can I have a motion to, Mr. Reed, Peter Reed, motion to, yeah. And second, Mr. Lombardi, yes. And all in favor to close the file is all unanimously agree. Thank you.
Thank you.
And-
And then for the deferral requests, we do have 3 deferral requests for this morning.
Yeah.
So item number 237 Davies Crescent, file number A0630/25TY. Item number 1127 Frater Avenue, file number A066/26TY. And item 16, 178A to 180 Davenport Road, file number A0091/26TY. At this time, we can deal with those 3 deferral requests.
Okay, so with item number 237 Davies Crescent, this is to alter existing one-story detached dwelling by raising the height of the basement ceiling, constructing a west side and a rear 2-story addition, and a complete first-story addition, and a basement walkout with stairs, and a rear second-story deck with stairs. They are seeking 8 variances. And we also receive a survey, site plan, floor plan, elevations, 5 photographs, and also a deferral request from the agent. We are ready for the agent, please.
Through the chair, the agent is online, and there are no registered speakers for this item.
Okay, thank you, yeah.
Good morning, Madam Chair, committee members, and municipal staff. My name is Johnny Regina. I reside at 38 Salvapiano Crescent in Vaughan, Ontario. I'm here before you to request a deferral in the application. One, the client is overseas overlooking some elderly parents and therefore was not able to post the actual signage in the proper
okay.
timeline required. He did come back last week for 48 hours and he left again. So at this point, we want to defer it until things settle down with his responsibility with his elderly parents.
Okay,
So
that's a
we
good,
ask this committee to defer this case
okay.
or this file to a later date.
Oh, thank you, yes, that's a good reason, yeah, Mr. Reed. Yeah.
Thanks, Chair. I'll move that we defer this application to allow for proper signage.
Yes, signage, and I would like to second Mr. Lombardi, second. And all in favor to defer? Is unanimously deferred? Thank you. Then.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, we'll see you when you're ready. Okay.
Thank you.
So next defer item is 11. Item 11, 27 Frater Avenue. This is to construct a new 3-story detached dwelling with a basement level and the basement level is considered the first story with an integral garage and a widened driveway and a front second-story covered porch with stairs and a second-story deck with stairs and a first floor story walkout. We also received a survey, site plan, floor plan, elevation, 2 photographs and a cover letter and an email corresponding from the applicant and a deferral request from the agent. We also have comments receiving from transportation and community planning And we have correspondence of concern from 173 GlebeMount Avenue, and also received a number of oppositions from 3 oppositions on this item. We are ready for the agent to tell us why you request a deferral. Yeah.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, we have the agent online, and we also have one speaker here in person
Oh, okay.
as well.
All right. Sorry.
Hello, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the Committee of Adjustment. My name is Nick Saccone. I'm the agent on the file. I reside at 103 Glenlong Avenue in Toronto, Ontario. We're requesting a deferral today to address the comments. We have forestry comments, transportation comments, and planning comments. We received these comments between the 25th and 26th of March. I believe our planner was also away on holidays, so we didn't have really time to address any of the concerns with her. So that's why we just need a little bit more time to talk to these various departments and try to iron out everything that we have to.
Yep. Okay, thank you. Because there's another speaker who would like to speak to this item. We would like to invite the other speaker. Is it in person? Yeah.
Yes, if the person is here, come up to the middle podium. Yep.
Yes,
Turn
please.
on the microphone so you see a green light. Perfect.
My name is Ron Lowe at 25 Frater Avenue.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Before you start with, because the applicant is requesting deferral, so we are going to address that request first. I would like to know whether you agree or disagree with the request.
well, I guess I'll wait till he defers and see what plans he comes up with.
Yes. Are you the next door neighbor? Are you next to him or you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm-
I think that we will, if we're going to grant the deferral, we will also request that he will contact you. And if there's any kind of concern, maybe you can have a good discussion with him first before he comes back here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, as long as, like, the only thing I would like to mention was that I just like his plans to conform to your zoning bylaw standards, which, as I looked at all the minor variances that was submitted, and as far as I was concerned, 10's a lot. With all my years at 25 Frater, we've had 3 or 4 houses redone, rebuilt.
Yeah.
I don't recall
I
receiving
understand that,
notices
yeah.
like
I
that.
understand that, but then that's why that maybe this is an opportunity for you to sit down with him. I will encourage that. It's not like we can force you guys to sit down, but we'll encourage some more dialogue, and then maybe then you will understand the proposal more. And then maybe there's you can resolve some issues before this he's ready to come back. Okay.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
Thank you so much. So you agree to the request?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Thank
Yep.
you. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Should I turn this off?
yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we hear you. Okay. So we get back to the applicant first. Yeah. Can we bring back the applicant? Okay, maybe we can take it to the committee, and then it seems that there's no opposition to the request, but also we would like to, if we're going to make a motion, we would like to make, yeah, please.
I'll make
yeah.
a motion. Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. I would like to move a motion that this matter be deferred, given the applicant's understanding that there are comments from staff, city staff, various departments, and they would like an opportunity to review those and hopefully address those through any future revisions, as well as perhaps speaking with the budding neighbors regarding any additional revisions that might come forward as a result of those discussions. So I have no problem moving a motion to defer this matter.
Yeah.
And I'll also note that for the individual who's here in opposition, that will then give you an opportunity to come back and speak if you so wish on that revised application.
Yes, I think it's important to note that some people spend time and effort to come here, and then I will really encourage the applicant to discuss more with the neighbors, and then maybe make some adjustment or to just respond to the concerns. Okay, so we'll 1 second, please here, second. Yeah, okay. And all in favor for that deferral and with those reasons. Thank you. It's unanimously defer. Thank you. Next item is item number 16. Just wait a second. Item 16 is 1788 and 180 Davenport Road. This is to alter the existing building by constructing a two-story middle addition that will connect the two buildings internally and a complete third-floor addition with a third-story rooftop terrace. The building will contain 1 commercial unit and 1 residential unit. And we also receive a survey site plan, floor plan elevations, revised site plan, floor plan elevations, and 3 photographs and of the property and previous decision affecting the property, and a deferral request from the agent. We also received support from 87 Avenue Road and also comments from community planning.
Through you, Madam Chair, we have the agent online as well as 1 speaker that's in person.
Okay, thank you.
Michael, you have been unmuted. Michael, you have been unmuted and you've become a panelist, so see if you want to click unmute, like the mute button, and try. Here. Yeah, Michael, unfortunately, we cannot hear you. Should we, would you want me to call Michael? Maybe perhaps I'll give you a call and we'll try that, okay? Hold on, please. Michael, you've been unmuted. It's there. Through the chair, yeah, we've had attempts to reach Michael. I think I'll try to, continuously reach him. Perhaps we can.
Yes, but then there's 1 person in person, so she has. We stay this time. He has to wait for what? Yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair, let's move on to item number 1, and then we'll come back to this.
I'll come back, and then if we cannot connect them, we can let the person here to speak about.
Well, we can't.
We
We have to
cannot.
hear from the applicant
Oh,
first.
okay, so,
Yeah.
so she has to wait then.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get, okay. So now we're going to hear item number 1, which is 46 Sammon Avenue. This is to alter the existing 1.5-story semi-detached by constructing a front 1-story addition, which is to enclose the front porch. And a weird 2-story addition with a weird ground floor covered deck with stairs. The existing ground floor landing and stair will be demolished, and he's seeking 5 variances. We also receive a copy of survey site plan, floor plan elevations, and 4 photographs, and a decision affecting the of the subject property. We also receive comment from a subway Metrolink comments. We are ready for the agent or the applicant. Yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair, we have the applicant online, and there are no speakers for this item.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Tomaso, you've been unmuted.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
Through you, Madam Chair, so it appears that we're having some issues with WebEx, so we're just going to take a 5-minute break and see if we can resolve. Okay.
We stopped.
Hello?
Hello, hi, is this Mr. Tom? I think it,
Laptops are muted.
yeah. I think it works. That was him just now. Okay. It's quite an agent. Hi, Mr. Garzelli, are you there?
Somebody hear me?
It could be the agent. Yeah, yeah, I think it's the agent. Okay. Testing.
Try again and see if anybody can hear it.
Okay, members, please turn on your videos, microphones. We're going to resume. Through you, Madam Chair, let's deal with item number 1, and then we'll go back to item number 16, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, because we're halfway, right? And number 1. And we are waiting for the applicant. Do I need to?
Hello? Testing?
Yes. Now it's happy to connect with you. Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Item number 1 is not contested. I'm not going. Please give us your name and address for the record first. Yeah.
My name is Tom Garzelli. I'm at 1045 Cherry Bell Road, and I'm the agent for 46 Sammon Avenue.
Yes. I'm going to check with our panel members whether they require a presentation from you first.
Thank you.
Okay. They might have questions. Yeah, we will have questions for you. So we will just go straight to the questions. All right, thank you. Yes, please, go ahead. Yeah, Mr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you to the applicant. So I'm looking at your site plan, and really the only variance that I have a concern with is variance number 5, which is for front yard, reduction in front yard soft landscaping. I'm familiar with the area and the street, and your site plan, I believe, shows an L-shaped strip of landscaping adjacent or parallel to the front wall of the proposed enclosed veranda and the stairs. I just want to confirm, is that a landscape strip, soft landscaping?
That is, yes, that is soft landscaping in the hatched area.
Okay,
or denoted as a no, yes.
great. And currently, there really is no front yard soft landscaping. I think it's all concrete, correct?
There is parking. I'm just going to check a photo, sorry. No, there is actually, there's two planters. So what's, if you look at, okay, there you go. So the photo to the, nope, that's not the house. Yes, the second photo, if you zoom in, there's the little planters with the red flowers. It's the blue car, correct. Yes, that is the landscape that is running north and south.
All right,
And then in front of the car is the L shape
right,
portion.
right.
A
And,
tiny little bit, yes.
You
okay.
can see the shrubbery along the windows of the
Yeah,
front.
yeah, and I'm talking about an expansive strip, but there isn't any. They're planters. Yeah. So I mean, I'm seeing that this is an improvement to the existing situation, but you also have on your site plan an existing asphalt driveway to remain. Would your client be open to permeable pavers as part of that driveway?
I don't see why not. The project is currently, we applied in 2026, almost 20 years ago. So
Yeah.
I can definitely tell him that for a provision for him this summer to remove it and put some pavers in, yes.
Okay, that I would move a condition though as part of the any approval if that were to be moved and adopted.
And that would consist of any amendment accordingly, or just an aggrant?
Oh no, it would be
amendment to drawings or just-
condition of approval if I were to move a motion to grant approve the application and grant the variances. Now, I also understand that permeable pavers are not part of the city's current definition for soft landscaping. Nevertheless, I think it would improve the existing situation in stormwater runoff, et cetera.
Yeah, I mean, it's an existing condition, as you can see, even with the adjacent properties today. But in showing, participation, I don't see that there's going to be an issue.
Okay, thank you.
It has to, no problem.
Yep, thanks.
Okay, following that question, Mr. Nobaldi, can you actually specify the extent of what you think that you will even suggest to have the permeable paver? Is the existing driveway plus the concrete driveway next to it, or what? What is the extent? That's what I'm saying. Because it's quite a large area, right? So I'm not too sure. They already have an existing concrete walk. You're not talking about the concrete walk, or you're just talking about the asphalt driveway will be paved with permeable pavers. Okay, maybe this question is that to the applicant. What do you think that the extent of the permeable paver, if you're going to accept the condition, what do you suggest? Excluding the walkway, the concrete walkway, or just the driveway?
Just the driveway.
Just the driveway. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Any other question to the applicant? All right. Thank you. We do not have any more questions for you, so we are in committee now. And yes, please, we can actually discuss whether we will even impose that conditions. Okay. Sure.
So I can start. I think this is an acceptable application and variances. This is a modest renovation, I think, an appropriate renovation for this particular home, and I don't see the variances, the 5 variances, as being offensive. In fact, in my opinion, they are minor. I can go through them. I think the setback the two variances for setbacks. We must understand that OREG 257-25, that's in full effect and force, reduces the required setback to a property line even further. So I think those variances are minor. I think, as I said, the only concern I had was with variance number 5 for the front yard soft landscaping. But again, it's an existing situation in the sense that there really isn't a great deal of front yard soft landscaping to begin with. And I think this improves the existing situation. So I think the proposal meets or maintains the general intent and purpose of the official plan and the zoning bylaw. It is desirable, I think, for the appropriate development of the property. And I think it's minor in nature. I don't see any impacts of a planning nature. So I'm prepared to move a motion approving the application and granting the 5 variances, subject to that one condition that I have suggested for permeable pavers in the for the driveway. Metrolinx is the only commenting agency, and those were comments, so there's no conditions there. So that's my motion.
Before we add for a second, is that I would like to ask you a question about the conditions. Because the photographs are missing from our package, so it's good to see the photograph on the screen just now. Because part of the existing driveway, if you look at the photographs, it's not their property, it's on the municipal side. When we impose this condition, so what do we do with the municipal part of it?
Well, it would only be for that area of the driveway.
Within their property. Okay. Yeah, right.
Yes, through you, Madam Chair, it's only on private property.
Yeah. So we would. Well, all right. That's what I want to just make clear. Okay. Instead of the full. All right. So we have a motion, and then do I have a second, please? Ms. Crawford, a second. All in favor with that conditions with the permeable paver unanimously approved, and also with Metrolink comments. Yeah.
Through you.
Yeah, the Metrolink.
No, it's comments. It's not conditions.
No condition, just comments.
No.
Receive, yeah. So we don't even mention.
Not included
Okay.
in the decision.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair, we can go back to item 16.
16, which is a deferral request. Yeah, and we actually have introduced the application purpose. So we are ready for the agent to tell us why he wants to request a deferral. Yeah.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, we do have the agent online.
Yeah.
Michael, you have been unmuted.
Let's start small. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'll take that as a yes. Okay. Michael Cogan. My office address is 40 St. Clair East, Suite 303. I am the applicant and the agent. We are requesting a deferral because we've come to an agreement with, I'll use the acronym ABCRA, the ratepayers, and oddly enough, the agreement is actually altering the variance related to maximum required front yard setback. We're pushing the 3rd floor back, and I'm still sort of going back and forth with the building department how to calculate the front wall setback. Is it based on square footage of the wall, horizontal width of the wall? Anyway, to make a long story short, I think it looks like that variance will need to be changed to accommodate the agreement.
Okay. To revise, to more accurately, right? To revise the agreement.
Well, to reflect what's required.
Yeah. All right. That's a good reason. So thank you. Do we have a motion? Yeah, Mr. Grace. Oh, sorry.
Through you, Madam Chair, we do have one speaker in person.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, you did. Okay, thank you. We have one speaker who would like to speak to this item in person. Thank you.
Just turn on the microphone so you see the green light. Perfect, thank you.
Yes.
Good morning. My name is Arthur Geringus. I reside at Unit 527, 2 Old Mill Drive, York, Ontario, M6S082. I'm a representative for the ABC Residents Association, and we are agreeable with the deferral.
You agree? Thank you so much, yes. Yeah, and, okay, yeah, we ready for a motion, Ms.
Sounds good.
Glacier?
Thanks, Madam Chair. Yeah, I'm happy to move a motion in support of the deferral request to give the applicant time to make those adjustments and come back with the accurate numbers.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, second? Yeah, Ms. Crawford? Second, all in favor for deferral of those reasons? Yeah, unanimously defer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll see you soon. Yeah, thank you. And we go back to item number 2. Oh, no, is it? No, sorry, number 3. It's, item number 3 is 100 Davenport Road. This is to alter the development standards of a 19-story mixed-use building with 46 units. We're going to revise the maximum building height and permitted height projections, and also then increase the number of story. Oh, the number of story remain unchanged. And they also want to modify require minimum building setbacks and increase the maximum permitted total gross floor area of the residential floor area. There will be 46 residential units on this lot. We received survey, site plan, floor plan, and elevation 6 photographs and cover letter from the agent and TLAB order, and pedestrian level wind study and presentation material, schedule study, and the site-specific zoning bylaw from the agent. And we have received comments from community planning and also from, actually, the two staff report from community planning. We are ready for the agent. Yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair, we have the agent here in person, and we do have one speaker in opposition online as well.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you.
Through the chair, good morning, and members of committee. My name is Ashley Patton. I'm a registered professional planner, and my office address is 3 Church Street, Toronto, Suite 200.
Yes, you do. It seems that you do have a position, and we would like to get a 5 minutes presentation from you. You can ask us to bring all the material you need before we start the clock. Yeah.
Great, thank you so much. I just wanted to first acknowledge that I have read the community planning report and agree with the comments and analysis made, noting that they have no objections to the variances. Next slide, please. So 100 Davenport is located at the southeast corner of Davenport Road and McAlpine Street near the northern terminus of Bay Street, where it connects to Davenport Road. Next slide, please. The variances requested today are the result of two things. The first being a refinement to the architectural design and expression, resulting in some changes at the podium level of the building. And this modified design is shown on the screen here, which shows tall arched openings and a well-defined 3-story podium for which the tower steps back above it. The second being a more detailed marketing exercise, which identified some changes required to the interior unit layouts to ensure that the units are marketable in today's challenging economic conditions. These changes included right-sizing bedrooms by enclosing some balconies that were previously inset to the building and providing for things like eat-in kitchens. Next slide, please. This slide shows the setback and height diagram in the approved zoning bylaw on the left with the revised requested diagram on the right. The design revisions have ensured that the overall maximum height remains unchanged at 19 stories or 66 meters plus the mechanical penthouse, which is included on the schedule. So you see the 72 meters, so that 72 meters is the mechanical penthouse, which remains unchanged, including maintaining the same heights for the taller portions of the building shown in the center of the diagram. The design team has worked together closely to minimize changes to the building envelope, and the changes are focused primarily at the lower levels and at the southeast end of the building where they would have negligible shadow impacts. The intent of the design revisions is to improve the functionality and marketability of individual units and not simply to increase the amount of gross floor area. The design team also met with city planning and urban design staff several times last year, so the variances and the plans before you reflect some tweaks that we made to address their comments specifically. Next slide, please. So 3 of the variances before you today relate to the revised diagram 5 I showed you on the previous slide, with the 4th variance associated with the requested increase of 2.7%, excuse me, to the gross floor area, which as I mentioned, was added to the lower levels to ensure minimal impacts to the shadows. Next slide, please. So again, I wanted to emphasize that the overall building height is not changing and that key design intents such as maintaining the view corridor along Davenport and Bay to the Myers Clock Tower is maintained. Other requirements such as vehicle, bike parking, and amenity and loading requirements remain unchanged. Next slide, please. An important part of assessing these impacts was the, which we included in the materials before you today, was an updated detailed shadow study, which was completed to show, and that the shadow study showed that the changes would be imperceptible to the shadows proposed on the neighboring property, specifically to the north. So the shadow study included in this package specifically assessed the 9 sensitive shadow locations that were assessed through the OLT hearing in 2023, specifically to the Belmont House to the north. So those remained essentially unchanged, with some shadows appearing a minute before or later than expected. An opinion from a wind consultant was also submitted, which determined that given how minor the changes are, that comfortable wind conditions would continue to be expected. So based on that, in my opinion, the variances meet the 4 tests of the Section 45(1) of the Planning Act, and we recommend they be approved, and I'm happy to answer any questions as well as to listen to the delegate following.
Yeah, we will hold our question to you, and then we'll listen to the opposition, and then we'll get you back. Okay, thank you. Yeah, let's have the other speaker. Yeah, please.
The speaker at 110 Davenport Road, you've been unmuted.
Next.
Hi, Kevin. You've been unmuted. Hi, Kevin. You've been promoted to become a panelist, which has the features to unmute and mute from your own device, and you've been unmuted.
Email.
Hi, Kevin. You will be receiving a call. Through you, Madam Chair, I'll try to give this speaker another call for another attempt. Please be on standby. Thank you.
Find the customer to access their voicemail and initialize their mailbox. Thank you.
Through you, Madam Chair. Let's move on to the next item, and then we'll come back to this when we can connect.
Yeah, when you can connect with, okay. Let's hold this done, and let's go to item number 4, which is 23 Ross Street. This is to construct a new 2-story detached auxiliary building which contains garden suite with a cantilever second story in the rear yard. And there will be total of 5 residential dwelling units on this lot, 4 in the main dwelling unit and 1 in the auxiliary building. We receive a survey site plan, floor plan elevations, revised site plan, floor plan and elevation, and revised zoning waiver, and also a red line public notice from the agent, and 2 photographs and cover letter from the agent, and presentation material from the agent too. So let's have the agent and.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, the agent is here in person, and there are no
Hi.
speakers.
Oh, yes, I'm familiar face, and then still give us your name and address for the record.
Good morning. Craig Race, the applicant and architect on the project, 100 Lombard Street.
Yes, and you do have some revisions. Let's go through the revisions before we
Certainly, we submitted an amended notice. So variance number 3 was eliminated entirely.
Okay.
Number 4, per the public notice, was improved to 5.74 meters.
All right.
Number 6 on the public notice was eliminated entirely.
Okay.
And number 7 was improved to 22% or 18.41 meters squared.
Good. That's clear. Right, we got that. And do we have any other speakers for this item? So it's not a contested application now. I'm going to check with the panel whether they want a presentation or questions. We do have questions, so we go straight to the question. Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you to the applicant. Your proposed first floor, it says mostly covered outdoor space, with the second floor having the habitable space. Is it cantilevered over the first floor?
It's not cantilevered, but it is open space.
Okay.
If you go to the last page of our supporting material, we have a conceptual rendering. That is intended for parking.
Okay. And follow-up question, what's the reason for the overhang on the second floor? And is it possible that the garden suite could have a smaller footprint if it didn't include an overhang?
That is possible because we would be eliminating the stairs. However, it would come at the expense of vehicle parking and bike parking. The reason it's not shown as vehicle parking is because it does not comply with municipal parking space requirements. It's slightly undersized. However, parking is not technically a requirement, so there's no variance.
All right, and last question. Thank you, Madam Chair, for your indulgence. Can you explain the accessible lift?
Certainly, the main house is a multiplex, so that exit and walkout and accessible lift are existing conditions. The basement unit in the main house is barrier-free.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? No. Actually, we don't have any more questions. Now we are in. Do you have anything you want to address us before we start? Okay.
Provided the committee is approving, I have nothing to say.
Oh, yes, that we wait, see. Okay, now we are in committee. I know the area very well, I think that it is, I'm so glad they haven't touched the front or anything because it's a very gorgeous building and the whole area that is where U of T and they always need more housing, more units in the whole area, so. That's my opinion. So please, Peter,
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, I agree. I think this is a good application. And I think especially with the improvements, the amendments, I think that helps, especially this rear yard soft landscaping. But this does fit in well. I think it's, the apartment buildings are relatively sizable just to the north. And so in this context, I think it's completely acceptable. And the variances needed to allow this to happen are I believe, minor in impact and in scale. So I'm happy to move a motion to approve to approve the application as amended. Without condition.
Yes, Mr. Lombardi,
Thank you. I will second it, and just let me add, this is this area has a tight urban fabric to it. The abutting properties have ancillary structures to the rear that are one-story. And so I think this fits the area, and it encourages additional types and tenures of housing, which is an initiative that is encouraged through the official plan. So I'm prepared to second the motion.
Okay, with amended motion, all in favor? It's a unanimous approve. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And now we go back to, do we have to go back to
Through you,
number
Madam
3,
Chair,
yes.
let's just go to item 5 because we're not able
You still
to
cannot connect, okay.
connect with
That's
the
fine.
agent.
So item 5 is 563 Gerrard Street East, and also it's 338 Hamilton Street. This is to construct a new mixed-use development of 3-story townhouse development, and with front porches and stairs, front first-story balconies, and also rear ground floor decks. We and rooftop deck and a rear below grade integral garages and one rear surface parking space, and also to construct a 3-story detached dwelling, which is unit 13 at the rear of the lot, fronting Monroe Street, with a covered porch and stairs and a side integral garage and the second floor balcony with the totally 13 dwelling units on this lot, and 12 in the mixed-use townhouses building, and also there's one detached townhouse. And we receive a survey site plan, floor plan elevations, a cover letter, and an arborist report and presentation material from the agent, and we receive comments from transportations, and also a staff report from Metrolinx, and also from direct community planning report. And we have received opposition from 50 Carroll Street and also 236 Hamilton Street. And that's all the material we received. We are ready for the agent.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, we have the agent here in person as well as one interested speaker online.
One interest. Okay. I guess we just assume there's some kind of concern or opposition. Yeah. Okay. Welcome.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Chair. My name is Brandon Stevens. I'm with Johnston Latavsky Planning Consultants, and our firm has been retained to assist with this minor variance application. Our office is located at 320 Bay Street, Suite 333 here in Toronto.
Okay, thank you. It seems that we just assume the concern, even like as a little bit of opposition. So can you give us a 5-minute presentation on your application? We wait till your material is up on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I do have a brief presentation that I'm happy to give.
Yeah.
Before I do that, I just want to provide a few updates. We have been able to meet with one of the neighbors that raised concerns.
Okay, good.
And they've written in. We've been able to address their concerns. And that's Ms. Carling Chan. And I'm not sure if committee has this as part of their package. It was received yesterday. I have a hard copy of it. I'm happy to provide it to committee so you have it.
No, we cannot have the hard copy, but you can tell us what it is, and then we can see your presentation. Yeah.
So in short, as I said, we've been able to address her concerns, and Ms. Chan has withdrawn her objection, and she will no longer be speaking today. So Ms. Chan is from 236 Hamilton Street, and that's immediately south of the property.
Okay.
And again, we've been able to work with her and address her concerns.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. So maybe then give us a 5-minute presentation when ready. We start the clock. Then.
For sure. If I may, we also have a letter of support from the neighbor to the southwest. So that's 234 Hamilton Street.
Okay, 234.
And that, again, was received yesterday, so that unfortunately isn't part of your package.
Okay. In support, good, yeah. Yeah, yeah, thank you.
Oh, yes, you do have it.
Oh,
So just a few things I'd like to highlight from this, that Mr. Hilton notes that his property is immediately adjacent to the subject lands, that he supports the application for the following reasons in terms of neighborhood character. He believes the proposed changes are in keeping with the existing character and scale of his street. He believes the impact is minor in nature because it will not, in his opinion, negatively impact the privacy or enjoyment of his property. And in terms of being desirable, he notes that he believes the proposal represents a desirable improvement to the property that benefits the local area, and that he has no objections to committee approving this application. And again, I'd note that this is an immediate neighbor, immediately south. So the immediate neighbors, and I do acknowledge, and I understand they are online, there is a neighbor that has concerns about parking. The immediate neighbors, the ones that are closest, either have withdrawn their objections as we've worked with them to address their concerns, or in this case, they've taken the time to write in and note that they provide their full support for this application. So I just wanted to start by highlighting those recent developments as we've worked hard with the community to address concerns and have either their support or they've removed their objection.
okay. So let's have a quick presentation then. In that case, it make it simpler, right? Yeah, okay.
Could we, oh, perfect. Thank you so much. So very quickly, the address is 563 Gerrard Street East. There is a rendering of the proposal on your screen here. And I would like to begin by thanking staff for working with us over years with the corresponding site plan application. And they provided a memo. They've reviewed this application, and we'd like to thank them for noting in writing in that memo that they have no objections to the application. I do acknowledge that there is, as I said, another letter in opposition that is still on file. I would like to highlight, so that is largely about parking concerns. I would like to note that there is no residential parking requirement for this project. Despite that, we are providing residential parking for 12 of the 13 residential units. And I would also note there were potential concerns raised about visitor parking. Visitor parking could easily be accommodated in the Green Pea parking lot immediately east of the site. That very often, I was there just a few days ago, has lots of availability in the parking lot that could easily accommodate that visitor parking as necessary. And finally, in response to that concern about parking, I would note that there's excellent rapid transit in the area, both by the Gerrard streetcar that runs immediately in front of the property, and there's a streetcar stop just a few steps from the property, and the Broadview streetcar that runs north-south, again, just a few steps from the property as well. In terms of the number of variances, I do acknowledge that there are quite a number of variances, and I'd just like to note that there's a few reasons for the number of variances. One is that city staff have looked at this application and determined this to be a mixed-use building and have evaluated it on that basis. And that's led to numerous variances that for a typical townhouse development, and this is designed as a townhouse development, as you can see from the rendering on your screen, because we've added at either end 2 live-work units. That staff have determined to make this a mixed-use building, and then it triggers numerous variances that wouldn't otherwise be triggered by a typical townhouse development. And those variances, so for example, accessible parking, bicycle parking, oversized parking, all of those are typical of a high-density, mixed-use, 35-story, high-density development. which is not the case here, as you can see. This is a townhouse development. And in terms of bicycle parking, for example, there's garages for the units, and your bicycle could go there, where in a typical high-density development, where the intent of those variances that have been triggered, you wouldn't have a garage to store your bicycle, for example. So I would like to note that. And second, you may have noticed that there are 4 extra variances. So the rear setback variance, that exact provision, 40.10.40.70 is listed 3 times, 5, 6, and 17. But that's the same rear yard setback variance. Again, for 4010, 4010.5, that's listed twice. And again, 4010, 4060 is listed twice.
Your 5 minutes is up, but we will, because there's another speaker, so we'll bring you back. Because I noticed that you have used some of your presentation time as a rebuttal of some of the concerns. So we'll bring you back a little bit. If you want to finish your presentation, you can do that.
Thank you.
Okay, let's listen to the other speaker first.
The speaker at 220 Hamilton Street, you've been unmuted.
Hi there. The application to speak was actually put in by my husband, Graham Bunt, and I'm speaking on his behalf because he is stuck in another meeting. I acknowledge the rebuttal that the agent has provided in the previous speak, and a lot of it was really interesting and speaks to perhaps the reason for the number of variances.
I'm sorry, did you give us your address, or your first and last name and your address? I sort of missed that. Yeah.
It's Sarah Peel on behalf of Graham Bunton, 220 Hamilton Street.
220, okay.
That's right.
All
so
right.
just down the street from Marlin with the letter of support. Predominantly, I think the concern, some of which has been spoken to, is around parking and
start the clock, please. Yeah.
Access to parking. I'll be quick. And realistically, that there is not a lot of street parking, and parking is an issue already. It is often not possible to find parking on Munro or Hamilton Street between Gerrard and Dundas as it stands. And with the additional developments happening in the city, including the subway and the 20-story bridge point, and that often on weekends, the Green P is full, there is an impact of not having visitor parking available. And also bike parking, which I'm perhaps understanding is not a necessity and is part of this mixed use variance effect. But it's a bummer to put in a bunch of housing in a prominent area without any bike parking available. In terms of building the city we want, offering some places for visitors to park their bikes, given that there is none, would be great. But it is an attractive building. We like the look of it. It looks great.
Okay, thank you. So, any question to this speaker? Have you finished?
I have. Thank you.
So maybe do we have questions for this speaker? Okay, thank you. We do not have any questions for you. So we can go back to the applicant. I think that's the only speaker, right? Okay, let's go back to the applicant. You have 5 minutes to use now to do your rebuttal or your other comments, yeah.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Chair, just in response, I would again note that residential parking is not required. Despite that, we're providing residential parking for 12 of the 13 units, and that there is excellent access to rapid transit. The speaker noted about building the city we want. We want to encourage people to use rapid transit, and there is excellent rapid transit right at the doorstop of this development, and we want to encourage people to use that. And there's also the streetcar that runs a few steps away along Broadview. So there is adequate parking provided that is sufficient. And in terms of visitor parking, I'd again note immediately east, there's an underutilized Green P parking lot that could be used for visitor parking as necessary.
So can I ask you a question? Is the Gerrard Street 24-hour service?
I'm sorry?
The Gerrard streetcar, Is this 24 hours service? Yeah, that's what I remember, but I'm not too sure. Okay, thank you. Yeah, any question to this applicant? Yes, please go ahead, Mr. Reed.
Thanks, Chair. I'm just noticing on your site plan, the interface between the development and the street being, you're showing a sidewalk and then it looks like a paved area or a grassed area in the boulevard. Is that, and that's currently not the situation. I'm just wondering, and part of that question is referring to the lack of visitor bike parking, and I'm just wondering if there is a chance to, more the municipal provided post and ring parking within the boulevard. I'm wondering if that's been considered in your site plan discussions.
I have Darren. I should have introduced him. My apologies. Darren is our architect, so I'll defer to him.
Hi, Darren Hanna from Avtech Designs. My residence is 486 Whitby Shores Greenway in Whitby, Ontario. So getting back to your comment, that is pavers that are supposed to go through that to give us a slight hard surface and still some. The issue for visitor bike parking hasn't come up yet. I will talk with planning to see if it's something we could put in that boulevard area. Right. The biggest thing for me was to make sure we get our 2.1 meter pathway, which we do. So yes.
Great. And just another question about the live work units. What do you have specific types of uses that you're imagining happening there? Like, are they going to be more just people working, or is it going to be with a significant amount of clients coming in and out?
Yeah, I'll take that. So our envision was the more the professional, someone who would live upstairs and have, an insurance company or those kind of, just because of the size of the area. I don't see any, maybe a florist, something small on that level. Okay. So nothing that would have a lot of foot traffic only, I guess is my best.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Other questions? No? All right. It seems that we do not have any more questions. We are in committee. Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, I want to acknowledge the applicant's efforts to address comments from neighbors and working with them to attempt to improve this application. I also think that this is a well-designed and well-thought-out proposal. The property is located on Gerrard Street East. It's across the street from the old Don Jail and Bridgeport Rehabilitation Hospital. It's within the Woodbine Gardens neighborhood. It's well served by public transit and, connections to the Don Valley, et cetera. I think the proposal does intensify, which for all intents and purposes is a vacant lot, along what is considered in the OP an avenue. It's also designated a mixed use property, and it's going to provide a mixed use in terms of the types of residential units. The majority of the units in the townhouses will be 4-bedroom, with 2 at the end being 3-bedroom, which are the live work. Plus, you have Unit 13, which is also 4 bedrooms, and it's adjacent to the residential neighborhood, and it's appropriate transition, I believe. The proposal also maintains the angular plane requirements that are set out in the zoning bylaw, and any of the imputed impacts, in my opinion, do not rise to the level of adverse or unacceptable impact. Again, the test for minor being not that there be no impact, but that the imputed impacts not be of an adverse or undue impact. So I think in terms of our mandate, the 4 statutory tests, I think the proposal and the variances, even though there are 20 of them, and I understand the reason for that this was judged by the city to be, with the live work units, to be a single mixed use building. which triggered the number of variances. But in terms of the 4 tests, I believe it maintains the general intent and purpose of the official plan. The zoning bylaw is desirable for the appropriate use of the land, and it's minor in nature. So I'm prepared to move a motion approving the application and granting the variances. Subject to one condition, which is urban forestry. Well, actually 2 conditions, urban forestry 2 and 3. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'd like to also add that, yeah, when you look at the existing site, I think this is a very appropriate development, a good development. And I like the fact that it's actually proposing live-work units, townhouses, because it's addressing the main street commercial component of it, and also it's not totally. I think that it will even work better if it were totally residential. I agree with that. And yes, please, more comments, and we have a second.
No, just very happy to second the motion put forward.
Yeah, with the 2 conditions, right?
The one condition from about urban forestry is the only comment we're going to see. 2 conditions, 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Placey, second, and all in favor. It's approved unanimously. Thank you for coming. It was a good presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And we move to we move back to item 3, right? Yes. Have we made the connections with item 3? Let's see whether we make the connections first, and then
Through you, Madam Chair, we're still unable to connect with the applicant.
So we hold this down more. Yeah, so we move to item 6. Item 6 is 375 Shaw Street, and this is to alter existing 2.5-story detached dwelling by constructing a south side basement and ground floor additions. And the existing 2-story auxiliary building, which is a coach house with garage, in the rear yard will be maintained and unaltered. There will be 2 residential units on this lot. We have also received copy of survey, site plan, floor plan elevations, and cover letter, and from the agent, and also comparable approval, a list of comparable approvals from the agent, and also a tree protection plan from agent. We also received a number of support from 336, 338, and 373, 377, 79, Shaw Street. Okay, 336 and 38 is from Crawford Street. We are ready for the agent.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, we have the agent online, and there are no speakers for this item.
Okay.
Hello, I'm the agent, Timothy Mitinidis. My address is 113 Wolseley Street in Toronto.
Yes, it seems that you do not have any oppositions. Do we need, anyone requires a presentation? What about questions? Okay, it seems that I have checked with the panel, they do not need a presentation from you, and it's not a contested application, and they also do not have any questions. So we are ready to discuss this application. Do you have anything you want to address the panel now? You can do it.
No, thank you.
No? Okay, now we are in committee, please. Yeah, go. Okay.
Sure. Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, through you. I think the scope of the proposed alterations are modest and functional in nature. I think the 2 variances are actually reflecting an existing non-compliant situation. Now, with respect to variance 2, which is the soft landscaping, it really is an existing situation, and I acknowledge that the applicant has proposed to incorporate permeable pavers throughout the rear yard, so that I think that is an improvement. The applicant has also done a neighborhood study area analysis, which I appreciate, looking at variances, previous decisions such as FSI, beyond what is being permitted, et cetera. And so I'm comfortable again, considering what my colleagues will say, but I'm prepared to move a motion approving the application, granting the two variances. And I do not think that there are any conditions of approval that we have received from.
I'd like to impose one of ours.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
He
Friendly
did mention,
amendment,
he
sure.
did propose to have to replace the existing interlocking by permanent paver on site plan. So I would like to tie it to the site plan.
Site plan.
So there's a note on that, yeah.
No, absolutely. I will definitely move that, include that condition of approval.
Yep.
Thank you.
Peter, please.
Thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to add that I think the materials are really well done and instructive and helpful in understanding their proposal. And I also did appreciate the green roof that's being incorporated into the application as a way to kind of address the shortfall with the landscape. So I would support your
Is
motion.
that indicated on the on some plans, the green roof? I mean, we can tie that drawing too.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's not on the site plan, I don't think.
It's on the other plans, like we can go back to ask the
Yeah, it's on A120.
A120.
It says proposed green roof below, so it's identified. So maybe if we tied it to the site plan and to A120?
That makes sense.
A120, okay.
Yep.
Because of the roof, their green roof, yeah, okay, that is the motion. Peter, you like to second that too? Yeah. With those two conditions, all in favor? All in favor, unanimously approved with conditions, yeah. So,
Through you, Madam Chair, we'll just continue, and
Okay.
then we'll let you know when we've
okay,
connected.
yeah, that's a good idea. Item 7 is 547 Arlington Avenue. This is to legalize and maintain a new one-story detached auxiliary building, which is a storage shed in the rear yard, and which are constructed without an authorized building permit. We received survey, site plan, floor plan, elevations, 4 photographs, cover letter from the agent, and a decision and an order to comply, and a building permit number affecting the subject property. We also received comment from TTC and TLCA, and urban forestry, and also the natural, within natural feature protection. We received support from 545 Arlington Avenue and 549 Arlington Avenue. And that's all the material we received, and we're ready for the agent or applicant. Yeah.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, the agent is online and there are no speakers.
There's no other speaker, okay.
Hello, through Madam Chair, this is Amandeep Pathak. I'm the applicant, and I'm representing my property owners, Mr. Yuval Nachmani and Ms. Mariam Nachmani, in support of their minor variance application regarding the setbacks on the sides and the rear yard. So the purpose of this application is to seek relief for 2 minor variances related to an existing storage located on the subject property. The variances request are under zoning bylaw 10.5.60.26a, that is for the reduced setback for the storage shed, allowing it to be located closer to the neighboring property than permitted by the zoning bylaw. And the second one is to permit the storage shed to encroach approximately 0.25 meters onto the property line, abutting the conservation area. I want to support my application with these 4 information. First, this variance is minor in nature because the reduced setback does not create any measurable impact. Second, the encroachment is only 0.25 meter, which is minor and negligible in nature. So I request the committee to allow this shed. Second thing is the desirable for the appropriate development of the use of land. The shed is a standard accessory structure supporting normal residential use, specifically for the storage of the equipment that is being used only for the rear yard. Second, it improves the functionality of the property without changing its use. Third, maintains the general intent and the purpose of the zoning bylaw. The intent of the setback is to ensure compatibility and adequate spacing. In this case, there is no adverse impacts on the adjacent properties. Last one, maintains the general intent and purpose of the official plan. The proposal respects the existing residential character and build form. No change in the density or the land of the use is proposed. The second best thing we have got is the neighborhood support from both 545 and 549 Arlington Avenue, where the property owners have provided their consent letters stating that they don't have any issue regarding this development. Uh, the, the the key strength for our application is the conservation authority clearance as well. We got a letter from the TRCA that they don't have any issue. However, they have comments because since the property, since this development is falling partially on their property line, so they are requesting us to apply for their application, so which we will be doing it. We have already filed the fee and we are ready to proceed with the application. And I want to mention the points for the Conservation Authority clearance. The portion of the shed near the conservation area has been reviewed by the Conservation Authority, and they have issued a no objection or like no concern letter confirming that the encroachment does not raise any environmental or regulatory concern. So this confirms that the proposal is acceptable not only from a planning perspective, but also from an environmental authority standpoint. So I would request to kindly allow us these variances, which are minor in nature, supported by the neighbors, cleared by the Conservation Authority, and fully compliant with the 4 tests under the Planning Act. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Questions, please? Yes.
Thank you, through you, Madam Chair, to the applicant. So the first question I have is, and I understand what the purpose of the application is, but there seems to be some confusion in that the order to comply was issued by the city somehow with a misunderstanding that this might be a laneway suite. Is that the intent?
Yes, sir. The intent is to only have a storage shed, no laneway suite. It was during the inspection, it came, and I was not aware of that, but the intent was never of any laneway suite. If I would request to have photos on board, if you can show the photos on the inside. So this is a very small like storage shed, and it has all the images in it. So it is only being done, it is only being installed for storing the materials for the rear yard, and it will never be used for any laneway suite. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Second question, for consistency purposes, I do not look favorably upon applicants that come before this committee for as-built applications to legalize and maintain something that was built without a building permit. So my question to you, and I was hoping that the owner would be here to answer the question, if you cannot, why was the shed built without a building permit?
Sir, I believe the owner is here. He is in the meeting. If he'll not be able to answer, then I'll definitely answer. Mr. Yuval Lachmani, I've already sent him this email, and he has already joined this webinar. If he is allowed to speak, then definitely. Otherwise, I will respond to them.
I'll ask you to respond if you have the answer.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So this building was actually previously, when the previous owner bought this property, this building was already there. So he actually did not touch any trees, and because the previous building was in very bad condition, so he actually he just built the property on the same place. and that's how he actually he was not aware that he has to get that permits for it. But since he actually just built, he actually demolished the previous building, which was very bad in condition, which was very bad in shape, and then he actually constructed just for the purpose of storing the material. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, yeah. But please go ahead, Peter. Yeah.
Thanks, Chair. This is more, it's not related to your variances, but I'm just wondering how the owners of these properties get access to the rear of their properties. From the survey, it doesn't look like there's an easement, and that laneway that exists, I think, is in the park, right? It's parkland, and I'm just more curious as to how that actually functions legally.
Sir, thank you for that question. So basically, there is a way for movement of the cars at the back, and they are allowed to have that. And if you see on all the properties on this line, we believe that these they have proper ways for the movement of their vehicles at the back.
Yeah, no, I see that. I'm just wondering, because I'm not seeing on the survey any mention of an easement or access via, it's an unusual situation, right? Having a laneway that's in parkland. Anyway, that's fine. Thanks.
I'm actually requesting one clarification here.
Yeah.
It is a storage shed. It is not a laneway suite. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess the answer is like people use it with the official easement agreement or something. Okay. Any other questions, please? Yes. Yeah. Okay. We do not have any more questions for you, so we are in committee. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Please, Peter. Yeah.
I'm happy to take this one, Chair. I think this is a reasonable application. There's these two variances that are quite minor, and what happened, even though there wasn't a permit that was properly obtained, I think is just basically the rebuilding of an existing shed in essentially the same spot. And it's one story, and it's more just a formalization of an existing condition. So I'm happy. I think the impacts of this are negligible, so I'll move approval subject to Urban Forestry 3, and I think if we can have a note for the record that the committee does not condone construction without a permit.
And also there's a TTC report that they do have some kind as 2 and 3 conditions.
Thank you, Chair. I'll add
number
that.
2 and number 5 conditions.
Through you, Madam Chair, it's just number 2.
Oh, number 2? Okay. All right, so we include the TTC condition. And second, please, Mr. Placier, yes, Katie, Placier, second. With those conditions, and all in favor? Yeah, all in favor is approved unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Yes, yes. And item...
Through you, Madam Chair, we're going to go back to item number 3.
Number 3 is the 100 Davenport Road. We managed to connect, right?
So, and through you, Madam Chair, after multiple attempts by phone call and email to the speaker at 110 Davenport Road, I was unable to connect with them.
Okay.
So we can have the agent back to proceed.
Okay, so we have made, as you say, multiple attempts. So it'll be helpful if you do know something about them. It's probably the shadow that they were concerned about, which you have mentioned from the complaint. I mean, right?
Yeah, through the chair, the 110 Davenport is the Myers Clock Tower building. It's an existing 4-story commercial building. So as I mentioned, the views to that clock tower are not being affected through this variance. And as you look on the site plan, there's a view corridor specifically showing that there's no setback in that view corridor. So and in terms of shadows, there would be the shadow details show that property, but like I said, the difference between a minute or before or after would apply.
So you have the schedule study here, right? We can take a quick look, you think?
Yes, correct.
We can bring up the schedule study.
It's in my presentation package at the end.
Okay. We can just address that concern, and then I don't think we need the full presentation, right? Yeah. You tell us what page, then we can just take a quick look. Yeah.
It's in the, at the end, 3 pages after the question, sorry, I don't have the page numbers, after the question and answer slide, 3 after that. Correct, there you go.
So, yeah.
So it's the building at the northeast corner of McAlpine and Davenport. So you can see that the proposed building is not affecting shadows on that building.
Oh, yes, I see. Okay, yeah, it's not even.
Those are existing shadows that are in gray on that building.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you for addressing that. Yeah, okay. Any question to the applicant now? Yeah. Yeah, so are we ready for, yeah, we don't have any more questions for you, so we are in committee now.
Thank you.
Ms. Ann, covered, please, yeah.
I'd like to move to support the application. I think it meets the intention of the official plan. The overall height is unchanged. The revised massing, it's been shown, will not have a negative impact. Changes were made all along in consultation with city staff, and community planning has supported it.
Yes.
So I would move for support of the application.
Those good comments. Thank you. And for second, Peter, second, no conditions, right? I just want to make sure. Okay, so no conditions, all approved. Yeah, okay, unanimously is approved, no condition. Where's the applicant? Oh, okay, she's gone, and then it's approved. Thank you for coming. Okay.
She's busy.
No, she's been waiting. That's the thing, right? So we have dealt with item number 8. I think it's the next one is item number 8. Is number 3 Cohill Drive. Is to construct a new 3-story detached. It's a multiplex with front and rear ground floor platforms and stairs, and also a widened driveway in the front. And there will be a total of 6 residential units on this lot. And we have received a survey, site plan, floor plan elevations, 10 photographs, and a cover letter, and an arborist report from the agent. And staff report from Urban Forestry and also Metro Links. And we have support from 62 Queensway. And opposition we have received from Cohill Drive is number 5, number 2, number 9, and there's another address, but with no address. Opposition, and also from the Swansea Area Ratepayers Association, and they are seeking 4 variances, and we're ready for the agent.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, we have the agent here in person, and there is one opposition speaker online that I'm also chasing them. Thank you.
Okay, try to. Okay, thank you. Give us your name and address, please, yeah? Can't hear you. This is on? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, give us your name and address first. Yeah.
Sure. My name is Tanveer Rai from Noble Prime Solutions. My address is 2131 Williams Parkway in Brampton, Ontario.
Okay. It seems that you have some opposition here, and we require you to give us a 5-minute presentation. But do you have a presentation on the screen? Or?
No.
No, you can just start.
I'll just be addressing.
Yeah, you just start, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Let's go.
Right. Thank you so much. So we are building a multiplex 3-story building over there, which will consist of 6 residential units on the building. The owner of the building owns a grocery store at Jameson and Queen Street. So 2 of the units are actually built for the owner. He will be staying in there, and the rest of the 4 units are meant for, obviously, the rental purposes. So Based on that, we have proposed a 3-story building, which is quite common in that area on the other side of the Queensway. If you guys notice, there are a lot of 3-storied townhomes on the other side of the Queensway. So based on that, we came up with that decision to have something that's already similar in the neighborhood. And since it's a corner lot, it's on the Queensway and the Cohill, I think it do not change the character of the main street, which is Queensway. Based on which we came up with this design. I do understand that there are a lot of concerns about the neighbors, about changing the characteristics of that neighborhood. But again, this Cohill Drive, even though it's on Cohill, the design was based on the Queensway. The biggest variance that we had concerned was the front yard setback and the side yard setback, which we have reduced to around 10% of what was allowed by the zoning bylaw. But the biggest concern that I see with most of the neighbors was the height of the building. Now, regarding the height of the building, we have asked for a variance of around 18%. The allowed is 7.8 meter, whereas we are proposing a 9.2 meter of building height, which is still less than what you can see on Queensway, to be very honest. But yes, it's more than the current neighborhood. But on the other side of the Cohill, you can see double-story homes. So this will realistically be the first triple-story house. But again, this whole design was not based on Cohill. It was based on Queensway's design. And if I need to have 6 units, this was the minimum I could come up with to get a 6-story building over there. And since the owner is living there, they got themselves 2 units out of those 6 units, which will be the top units, 3-bedroom units, which are their minimum requirements. Regarding the parking, the neighbors had some concern that the parking is coming on the Cohill Drive, but that decision was not ours. That came through planning, where they asked us to push the parking onto the Cohill side instead of the Queensway, which personally I think Queensway is a very busy street, so it does make sense that you take the parking onto the Cohill side, which is comparatively much less traffic. So that was done based on the recommendation of the city.
I see, okay.
The parking requirements are, since it's not part of the requirement for multiplexes anymore, but since the owner will be living there, that's why we propose 2-car parkings, but they will be using those parking spots for themselves. And the streetcars are pretty much a block away, so for any of the resident over there, it won't be any of a problem to use their transit. One of the things that we had done from the owner's authorized person, that they did go in to try to talk to the neighbors, based on which we were able to get 2 of the approval letters. But unfortunately, one of the biggest letter that you saw from 5 Cohill, we could not get in touch with them to address the concerns or to see if we can meet somewhere in the middle ground to satisfy their issues. So right now, we will continue with what we presented in the application, but if any of the neighbors has any concern who's present, and I will be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because there's one opposition like to speak, but we are trying to connect. Have we connect? Okay, we will listen to your opposition and we get back to you. Oh no, you can stay because there's no one else coming up in person, but yeah. He's online, yeah.
Through you, Madam Chair. The speaker is Nicholas Singh.
Yeah.
We do have a report from Nicholas.
Yes, well, what the address is the number 5? Is the guy? Is he from?
Well, he's with Swansea.
Oh, Swansea. So,
yeah.
All right.
And you have his report.
Yes.
That you've reviewed.
Yeah.
So if we're not able to connect with him, then we do know what the concerns are.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So we try where we do you want to respond to their concerns, or we just we have received we have looked through their comment? Yeah.
Again, most of them, their concerns was because of the height and the stormwater management, I understand.
Also, yeah.
But again, stormwater is something that's not going to be impacted by the construction of the house. This is more of a city concern.
Yeah.
If they really need any help from our side, but that will be city asking us to do that, and we'll be happily doing that for the city, because we don't want any kind of storm issue, because again, this is not a residential unit for money. We have to understand the owner is actually living there. So obviously he doesn't want any issues with the neighbors whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. So the concerns are very general concerns overall.
Yes.
Thank you so much. No problem. Yeah. Question, please. Yeah.
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, I'd like to ask a couple questions, and I think that the Swansea Area Ratepayers Association did bring up some valid points. I think in your cover letter or your justification letter, there are some variances that are named there, like specifically the soft landscaping, street-facing side yard. The zoning standard you have at 60%, and then proposed is 48, but that's not identified as a variance by the city. Can you speak to that?
The problem is when we submitted this application for the zoning review, and then it went to the planning department, so planning came back to us with all the changes. Yeah. We tried to take it back to the zoning review so they can give their opinion as well, but unfortunately they said the review is closed and we cannot do that anymore, which is the reason why we go with the zoning waiver form in this application. But I do understand that that could be a problem, but unfortunately it did not go through the zoning review at that point.
Okay, I understand that. But I do have some concerns with the site plan itself.
Yes.
Multiple entrances, you've got entrances at the front and the back, right? But
yes.
You're showing all, on the side yard and on the rear yard, you're showing all grass. So there's no pathway going to that rear door. Right, so I think that this is either an incomplete or unrealistic site plan.
To be honest, they never asked us for the pathway, which why it was never put out in the application. But yes.
But then that would affect
yes.
probably affect
it can affect the landscape.
Your landscaping variances.
Yes.
So, I mean, in that sense, I think that Swansea Area Ratepayers does bring up some good points that this may not be a fully realized application. Anyway, that's I guess, for our discussion. Thanks.
Yeah, no, it's a good, valid point. At least we mention it because if it does affect you later on, you have to come back to ask for that variance. So we sort of try to save you some further development or something. Yeah, okay, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I had similar questions. One of the questions I was going to ask was, it seemed like in your cover letter, you were dealing with many more variances than the variances that were being requested. So that was a concern. The other one is that there's a zoning waiver here, and that always raises not a red flag, but certainly you might not have covered variances that are required. So I'm thinking that you may want to take this away and come back at a later time with a more complete application. Because I'll concur with my colleague, Peter. I had similar questions and concerns as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's your call, yeah.
We really tried at that point to go back to the zoning review before we actually come to you guys. But unfortunately, zoning did not accepted that, and we had to go with the zoning waiver. We really put more than a month into this before we had to sign the zoning waiver. I know that we took a risk, but unfortunately, we were left with no option.
Yes.
Even the planning suggested us the same.
Well, and I understand that, and you know, going with a zoning waiver is, you understand, if there is an approval, I'll say if, your application and variances were approved, and there were a variance or variances that were missed, then that will prevent you from going further with this. Secondly, again, with my colleague, what Peter said, having a walkway then will impact your soft landscaping numbers. And so I'm uncomfortable trying to, you know, deal with the variances today if that is an issue that is going to be raised. And I think it has been, actually. Today.
Okay, yeah, I mean, okay, thank you. That's only a comment, it's not a concern, right? So are we ready to discuss this? Because my opinion is that he's quite aware of the situation. It's not that he's not, and they have made their decision. If they have to come back, then they know they have to come back. I do not think that we can just refuse to hear it because they make a decision that they might come back, or they might, what we approve is what is in front of us, and he knows that. Yeah, okay. That's what I want to comment.
Madam Chair, let me turn it on back to the applicant. Maybe as a suggestion, are you or your client willing to defer this application today? Or do you want us to deal with it?
Can I talk to the owner's representative?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's okay with moving forward with the application.
It's okay to move forward, yeah. So you,
No, we'll come back if, let's move forward with the application right now.
oh,
I'm so sorry. He
Oh, it's
said
the
he's okay
reverse.
with moving forward.
yeah, because it will come back quite soon. I mean, like if you just confirm the variance of landscaping, is that what you want to, want to defer?
We're moving forward.
Oh, sorry.
So sorry.
Because it's so soft.
So sorry. Yeah, we're moving forward.
Want us to deal with
Yes, please.
Yes, okay, that's clarified, it's good. All right, so now we are in committee. I don't, do we have any more questions for this applicant first? Okay, so we are in committee now, okay. So he's quite aware and then he's make a decision and the owner is here too, okay. Peter, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I personally would feel more comfortable deferring it. I don't think it's a realistic application, the fact that it's missing, details about access to units, and that will, and whether that results in a variance or not, it's still an incomplete plan from my view. And I think that is something that's relatively easily and quickly modifiable, and then this application could be heard again, I think quite soon.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we're trying to help here, actually.
Yeah.
Because I think that even if you're a little bit delayed, but I think that with the landscaping and with the whole proposal, I think all the variances, I mean, this is only in my personal opinion, but then the other members might have the similar opinion. They're actually quite reasonable, I think. So even with that, clarify you have a total package. And we schedule the hearing, it's not that complicated. You just go to talk to the zoning when you get ready, and then we just reschedule it, and you have a full package. I think that's our advice, but you two
Anyway,
members.
that's my opinion, but I'd like to hear my colleagues.
Yeah, exactly. The two people already thinking that maybe you should defer this or.
Yeah, thank you all for your comments and questions so far. I think my input right now is in terms of broad strokes, I don't have any issue with the scale of this. Number of units and number of stories makes sense, I think, in this location. But I agree with comments that it feels like it's a little bit premature. I'd also like to encourage possibly a little bit more attention paid to the facade of the building in terms of having it look a little bit more integrated into the community. That's just some personal feedback. But I think I'm in support of deferring as well.
Okay. And
Sounds to me like in the long run, this approach of deferral is going to actually assist the applicant in many ways.
Because they don't have to pay again. If they defer it, actually save you money, but then we might use up some more time. But it actually is, the application fee is quite substantial, I think. It's 4,000 something. Yeah, this is one. So let's then, in that case, it seems that we have a motion to defer this, right? Peter?
Sure, I'll move the motion to defer for the reasons we said, and I think it makes sense in terms of the shortcomings of this application.
Yeah. Second, this is a motion to defer because the panel feels that it is an incomplete application. And then you go back and then get the last page, so landscaping variance, and reschedule. Okay, all in favor for the deferral? Yes, we have to defer this. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so do we need a break? Yeah.
10-minute break? Okay. Members, please turn off your videos, microphones.
We have 10-minute break. Okay, thank you.
Please, let's mute the room.
Everything is fast, you move things. Okay. But on the other hand, I can see why they do it faster. Seven minutes and 23 seconds. A lot of issues. My leg. Normally he's good at showing. Stanley, did they come and fix the chair? No. Oh, was she? Problem is that if we try to achieve. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. 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 Right. Everything's in it. Sure.
Tech is losing today. Tech is losing today.
No. Last item. Yeah, me too. I try to be so friendly. Like that to them. Then they're okay. And I said that. I told them it's Peter's fault. Yeah. It's Peter's fault. They called the police on us. Okay. Oh, I'm totally number 9 only, right? Okay.
Okay, members, please turn on your videos, microphones.
Okay,
we unmute the room.
Unmute, okay. We resume the hearing. The item is number 9, 226 GLEBEMOUNT Avenue. This is to, let's wait a second. This is to alter the existing 2-story detached dwelling and by constructing a 2-story addition along the south side and the rear wall, and a complete first-story addition, and a front integral garage and a covered porch and a first floor balcony, and with a rear basement walkout. An existing 1-story auxiliary building, which is like a detached garage, will be demolished. We received a copy of survey, site plan, floor plan, elevations, 3 photographs, and the presentation material from the agent. I think that's all the material we have received. We are ready for the agent.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, the agent is online, and there are no speakers for this item.
Okay, thank you. And by the way, they're seeking 5 variances. Okay.
Mr. Pino Levis-Chia, you have been unmuted.
Hi, my name is Pino Lavecchia. I live at 1348 Ogden Avenue in Mississauga.
Okay, thank you. This is not a contested application, so I'm seeing whether the panel requires a presentation. We do not need a presentation from you. And any questions to the applicant? No. It seems that we do not have any questions for you. We are ready to discuss this. And do you have anything you want to address the panel before we start our discussion? Yeah.
Only that we feel that it's minor in nature and it satisfies the 4 conditions.
Okay, thank you. Now we are in committee, yes. Okay, Dino, yes, please.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. This is a pretty straightforward application. It is, in my opinion, a modest redevelopment or renovation of the existing home, which is a small home to begin with. It's located in a very, I'll say, a neighborhood that is undergoing redevelopment and reinvestment. It's near Michael Gerrard Hospital. Also note that it's within the O'Connor PMTSA, where the official plan directs increased density, but quite frankly, it's simply an application to construct a house with to accommodate additional living space. So I have no issue with the application or the variances being requested. And I'm prepared to move a motion in that regard.
Okay, Ms. Crawford, second?
Yes, I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Unanimously approved with no conditions. Thank you. So we move to item number 10 with 333 Queen Street West. This is to alter the existing 3-story non-residential building by converting the vacant second and third levels into a place of amusement. I like that. It's an escape room. The existing restaurant use a cafe and retail on the ground floor will be maintained and unaltered. We received a survey site plan floor plan elevation, 4 photographs of the property and also a cover letter from the agent. We also received a Metrolink comment. Yeah, welcome. Thank you.
Through you, Madam Chair, we have the agent.
Do we have any other speakers?
No, not for this item.
Not this for this item, so thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Really quickly, for this application, our client leased the second and third floor vacant space back in, I want to say, October last year. They did their own due diligence at the time of looking at bylaw 569, which does permit the use that's proposed. However, did not go into the layer of looking at the prevailing sections of 438, which does include a restriction that you can only have essentially what I'll call one place of entertainment use within the building.
I see.
There is a restaurant at the ground floor. It operates as a cafe. There's a retail unit at the ground floor as well. And as such, those permissions are already absorbed by that existing use. It was a yoga studio on the second and third floor. It is now proposed to be an escape room that would have a sort of ancillary snack bar for patrons also within it. This was submitted on a zoning waiver. I know there's been some discussion of that today as well. Variance number 2 has been identified by buildings as being required. It, in my opinion, is not required to permit what is proposed. There is an exemption in the section 4010-20-101. They've flagged section A. However, if you read section C of that section, it says that regulation A does not apply to a lot that is more than 6 meters away or 6.1 meters away from a lot within the residential apartment zone. I think there's some confusion in buildings that when you go back and look at 438-86, which the properties on the south side of the laneway are zoned under, RA in 569 now means residential apartment. Under 438-86, RA meant reinvestment area. So there's just some confusion from buildings on that. I haven't been successful getting that point across. So in an abundance of caution, I am asking you to grant that variance just to ensure we can actually proceed to a building
I agree,
permit.
yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, just avoid another trip. Yeah, okay. I do not know yet, since there's no opposition, And thank you for addressing that because it cleared up a lot of things. So now we can ask you questions. Yeah, well, please go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair, through you to the applicant. So, it's interesting when you look at the variances, and one of the variances relates to a legacy bylaw, 43886, which is the former City of Toronto. It's interesting that since 1998, an amalgamation, the harmonized zoning bylaw has not, incorporated that. But if 43886 was not in place, in your opinion, would this be an issue in terms of the use?
No, there would be no restriction. Like I said, they did their due diligence of looking at the bylaw, but not the bylaws within the bylaw, if I can clarify with that. And to your point, I'll reserve all my comments on the applicability of these former bylaws still hanging around. It's been 40 years.
It's an ongoing issue, I think, for many. And second question, and just an interest, is it possible to convert the second and third floors for residential at some point?
Residential would be a permitted use within the CR zone. So from a zoning standpoint, I mean, you'd have to take a look at, again, the multitude of regulations that would apply in that case. This was initially approved as a full non-residential building by council when it was constructed.
Right.
I'm not aware of the sort of intricacies of the building code that might come with residential conversion, but from a zoning standpoint, I don't see why it wouldn't be possible in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, thank you. We are in committee now. No, I agree with you. But then the certain specific sites, sometimes a particular sites, the old bylaw are not being incorporated. But overall, I think most of the property has been eliminating the old bylaw. But then some certain specific sites I noticed is particularly like schools and all, they still keep the old bylaws. That's in case. I think you play it safe is good. Okay. Yeah.
I'll move. This property is located on what I call and the city calls a main street, or an avenue in the official plan. It's intended to be a vibrant retail and commercial district. And the street itself is a prominent artery and historic street, and it's bordered by the entertainment district. So I think this is an application that I can support. So I'll move a motion supporting the application and the variances being requested. I don't think there are any conditions of approval.
Okay. Yes, Katie, please second. All in favor with no condition? Yeah, all in favor is approved. Thank you for coming. Unanimously, thank you. So we move to item 12. It's 171 Parkside Drive. This is all the existing one-story auxiliary building in the rear by constructing a complete second-story addition. And the building will convert into a garden suite. There will be a total of 5 residential units on this lot, and 1 in the garden suite and 4 in the main residential buildings. We have received a survey, site plan, floor plan, elevations, and 5 photographs and a cover letter from the agent. We have received also a community planning staff report. And that's all the material we have received. And they are seeking, I think, 5 variances. Yeah.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, we have the agent online, and there's also 1 speaker in support online as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. Good morning, Chair and committee members. My name is Abhishek Raj.
Can you speak to the mic closer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Good morning, Chair and committee members. My name is Abhishek Rajgor from MEM Engineering Inc., located at 2355 Delhi Road East, Unit 28, Mississauga, Ontario. And I'm here to represent the owners on this property at 171 Parkside Drive. So basically, this application is to allow a garden suite by converting a detached garage and adding a second-story addition with pitched roof. Our main intent, and thank you, yeah, that's one of the brief presentation just to give you a visual of we understand that the staff's position is not to allow in this case, but our main position is to allow the reduced separation distance between the main dwelling and the garden suite, which is asking 1.16 meters. And additionally, that's what is triggering the height variance as well. But we do understand that this variance is in a way, applicable given the site constraints the way it is, because we are not modifying the footprint of the garage in itself. So even though the variance does call for reduction in soft landscaping, it is actually the existing condition, as we are not doing an extension. It is mere second story extension, a second story addition. The photo that you see is a 3D visualizing on how the massing would look like, because currently it is a flat roof garage and not a pitched roof. The flat roof itself is raised in a way that, it kind of looks pretty, not small garage. It is fairly big, but it doesn't have pitched roof. So we have been mindful of the design, that there is no encroachment that is even proposed. We are even in the drawings, we have shown them that we are going to do the flush eaves, thereby, having no kind of projection on either side, even to our own dwelling and even to the next one, to the neighbors. This is one of the projects that we wanted to bring to your attention, is 4 United Square, where we had ourselves got an approval, and the distance between the detached garage and the dwelling is 2.1 meters. And there was no variance required in this case, and this is built with the 2-story. It's already approved and built for 2-story garden suite. And this was just one instance we wanted to. So this was somewhat similar to the massing that we are looking at right now. And if you move to the next slide, please. Next slide. Then we did some research on the character of this neighborhood. There are, we have identified 4 nearby structures in the same vicinity. One of them is the 208 Sunnyside Avenue. If you go to the next one is 35 High Park Gardens, that shows a carriage style detached garage, and then a 35 High Park, the next one, that's 369 Parkside Drive. And these are all within, 500 meters to 1 kilometer from the subject property. So by keeping these characters in mind, and also the Swansea High Park neighborhood, which has, pretty much carriage houses kind of structure, the character, we have come up with the design to kind of blend in with these detached garage structure. Our design pretty much is not too big, and this is very much well within to what we have recently got approved for 2-story garden suites all over Toronto, which we can confirm. The only, I believe, the staff's concern was regarding the massing of it, which we strongly feel that we have tried to introduce the pitch design just so that our plan can accommodate an attic style bedroom on the second floor. Because the footprint of the garage itself is so small that we cannot fit in a decent apartment. Like, it's not good enough for anyone to actually occupy, because it's a studio, but even a very small undersized studio. Hence, we did the attic style design, and that's what we are here to request a relief from. And in no way we are projecting any windows to the neighbors, either to the neighbor, to the other neighbor, or even to the main properties building. Our windows are only in the front. There is one dormer design, which we even informed the planning staff that we are okay to modify the dormer design if it's really, dormer is facing our own building, by the way, not the neighbor. So we have requested, that kind of variance, but the planning staff was clear that if there was even a slightest second floor or an attic, they would not be interested to review, as their position is firm. That we should keep the house on, we should keep the garage only on the main floor. That's it. So this is why we are here, and requesting that you can consider the merit of this situation. And thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other speaker? We have actually another speaker. Yeah. Let's go to that then. Yeah.
The speaker at 301 Wright Avenue, you've been unmuted.
Yes, hi, how are you doing?
Yes, can you get...
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you speak a little louder and give us your name and address, please?
Sure. My name's Charles Greck, and I live at 301 Wright Avenue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you have 5 minutes to tell us, your concern.
Well, I didn't really have any concerns. Like, I have a garden suite myself, and when I constructed about 2.5 years ago, there was like so much opposition. I just wanted to be here just to make sure that these structures are not delayed in any way because of people aggressively going against this type of housing.
Mm-hmm.
And the design is very, very reflective of the area. I have no objections to it. I can see the look that they want. They have the attic style. They haven't taken anything. They haven't even done I didn't see a very big cantilever, if at all. So they haven't really taken up very much space except putting the second story and being close to the other house, the requirement of, I think it's like 50 feet from the back of the house. I think things like that should not have an issue because, dealing with the city in Toronto and in general, space is at a premium in itself. To allow that type of distance is more of a luxury, and it's allowing, say, tighter density housing. So overall, the design looks good. I want to be here just in case if a lot of the people that were opposing me to do it were going to show up or not. So I didn't know that. So that's basically it. No, it's a great design. I'd like to see more of these pop up in the area.
Oh, it's basically you're in support. Thank you. Yeah. Any question to this speaker first? Okay. All right, so we do not have any more questions. We can bring back the applicant, and then we might have questions for you. Yeah, please.
Yes.
Okay. It's good. Actually, that was a support for you. I have a question. I asked, you have discussed this with the planning staff, right? You said.
Yes.
And then they have a report which they just recommend refusal. And also the reason is mainly they did not like the distance between your laneway or your garden suite to the main house. I just wonder, because this is a corner, it seems to as a corner lot, right? It depends on which way you're looking at it, whether it fits in the context or not. Have you mentioned that they are aware of the site, right? It's a corner lot. And they still hold their position as the distance is too small?
Yes, Madam Chair, I believe so.
Okay, I see. Because I thought that it is just in my opinion, the context actually changed some, whether it is in keeping with the neighborhood or not. Okay, thank you very much. Any question to the applicant first? Okay, we do not have any more question for you. Now we are in committee with the discussion. Yes, please. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So in following up on your comments, and in fact, I agree with your comments, the context within which this property sits, it's a cornered lot. The proposal is to maintain or to build onto the existing structure to create a garden suite. It's a corner lot. There's no soft landscaping at the rear. There's a parking lot, or not a parking lot, a parking space. The applicant intends to keep the existing front and side yard soft landscaping. I think where community planning is coming from is the fact that there's a reduction in the separation distance, an increase in the height for the garden suite, and also the reduced rear yard soft landscaping. Now, all of that together would create a concern, but in looking at the context, it's a corner lot, and it's an existing structure, or at least the first floor is. The proposed garden suite would actually sit 9.61 meters set back from the flankage side, or the Algonquin Avenue side. And I think the proposal has attempted to incorporate a pitch slope roof with a second floor dormer, which will and probably does mitigate massing of the structure, which is the concern given the reduction in separation and the increase in height. We know that garden suites are permitted. There are additional housing options that the city is encouraging for a variety of household configurations and people in different styles of life. And so with that in the understanding, I am prepared to support an approval of this, but I will defer to my colleagues and their comments.
Okay, yeah, I can add my, because following yours, because very seldom that I mean, I would take the planning report seriously, but this time I sort of disagree, because this is at the corner actually, but also both of the streets are similar in terms of the size. It's not a minor and major. I think they both are very comparable. So if you look at the Algonquin Avenue side, it's actually the existing distance between the garage and the next adjacent property is 1.16 meter, which is almost like, if you look at Main Street, the setback is more or less, sometimes it's even less than that, right? Not 0.9. I think it's acceptable. And if it's only a two-story building, it's really filled up I think the street better. And I do support this application in that context. Yeah. Please, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. I would agree too. I think it's rare that we go against planning's recommendation. But I think in this case, as you guys both mentioned, I think the context is everything, and that kind of side yard condition towards the east is, it kind of continues the Algonquin facing orientation of those units, and I think the impact is going to be relatively small. So yeah, I'd support this too.
So we'd like to end. We'd like to have a motion.
The applicant, sure. I could put forward a motion to support this application. The applicant did a great job presenting. It's really an existing condition. It's an attractive build from the rendering. It's on the existing footprint and garage. We're gaining housing. Other members have made great points about the corner lot and the adjacent street. The applicant also identified similar builds in the area.
Oh, yes.
Took account of privacy issues.
Yeah, yes, I agree. Okay.
Put forward a motion to support the application.
So I like second, Katie second this motion with no, I don't think we have any conditions, right? With no condition, all in favor? All in favor is unanimously approved. It's approved, thank you. And now we move to item 13, which is 39 Northdale Boulevard. This is to alter the existing two-story detached dwelling by constructing a a new rear one-story addition and a ground floor deck with stairs. The existing rear one-story addition and rear one-story auxiliary building, which is a storage shed, will be demolished, and the front yard parking space will be removed. We have received copy of survey site plan, floor plan elevations, 10 photographs, and also a decision affecting the property. We have received email comment from transportation engineering, and also a support letter from 186 Bartley Drive. And that's all the material we have received. Yes. And they're seeking 2 variances.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair. I'm still trying to connect with the applicant as well as the owner. So
okay.
Please be on
you try
standby.
Give it one more try, and then we can we can keep this.
Hi, Mohammed. You have been unmuted. Mohammed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mohammed, you have been unmuted and you've been promoted to become a panelist with access to your mute button. From our side, you have been unmuted, Mohammed. Please go ahead.
So oh, you got it, okay.
Yeah. So through you, Madam Chair, also the applicant confirmed that the owner will be speaking for this item. I have also reached out to the owner as well, but at this moment, we're unable to connect. So perhaps we move forward to the next application.
We stay this done, and then we'll come back to it, okay? Yeah, let's move to item 14, which is 20 and 26 MAITLAND Street. This is to alter the existing development standards of a 40-story mixed-use building, and by increasing the residential gross floor area and also the building height from 123.5 meter to 127.6 meter, and also that's the height of the elevator overrun projection, and there will be a total of 516 residential units on this site. We receive a survey, site plan, floor plan elevations, 4 photographs, cover letter, and decision affecting the property, and arborist report and planning rationale presentation material from the agent, and we have received servicing and transportation memo, and the site zoning specific bylaw, and also we have comment from TTC. And that's all the material we have received, and they are seeking 5 variances. Thank you, welcome, yes.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, we have the agent here in person, and there are no speakers for this item.
Yes, and it's not a contested application. Give us your name and address first, yeah.
Sure. Good afternoon. My name is Mike Gerrard. I'm a partner and a planner at Bousfields. My address is 3 Church Street, Suite 200. I'm happy to give a presentation, but I'm actually in your hands, Madam Chair, members of the committee, if you'd like one.
I'm going to see whether the panels want to have, do you like to listen to this beautiful development? No? So have questions? No, we don't even have questions. Okay, if you really have something you want to address us before we just move on,
Madam Chair, maybe I'll just confirm that you do have a planning rationale letter from us for providing our opinion about the 4 tests, and that the application, in our opinion, does meet them. And I'll just confirm, we have read the TTC report, and the conditions that are being requested by TTC are appropriate in our opinion. So my recommendation would be to approve the application with the TTC conditions.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what we have to. Okay. Now we're in committee. I agree. It's pretty. That's really good. I must say your materials are really good. I can understand why, and which is good for us. Yeah. Okay, Katie, you smile. You want to?
I disagree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Please.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, this is, to me, a straightforward application. The proposal really is seeking and reflects the reduced scale of development, and we're seeing that somewhat these days with an ongoing sort of change in market conditions, et cetera. The developments within the downtown Toronto, Wesley Street and College Street, PMTSAs through site and area specific 602 and 603 through OPA 520. The current proposal represents 42 stories, which I think is significantly smaller than both height and density than previously approved. It provides a mix of units, which I am supportive of. The internal layout of the building remains essentially unchanged. The Toronto Downtown Secondary Plan designates mixed-use area 1, which encourages diverse range of building typologies, including tall buildings, this is 1. If approved, this would result in, my understanding is the creation of 40 additional residential units beyond what was approved in the zoning bylaw. And it's a site where intensification and density are encouraged by the LP, and the development of the scale and planned for, intended for this site is I think, achieved. So I'm satisfied with the variances that are being requested. I think individually and cumulatively, they meet the 4 statutory tests in Section 45, Sub 1 of the Planning Act. I'm prepared to move a motion.
Yes, please.
Now, there are conditions of approval, which is TTC conditions 2 and 5, but going back to the previous approval at the Committee of Adjustment, I'm going to suggest that since any application before this committee is considered a new application, the 45 sub 9 condition, I think, needs to be attached to this approval. So, and previous condition number 1 related to the 29.5% to be units of 2 or more bedrooms. So I think those conditions I would suggest be added to any approval.
Okay, thank you. Just I said about the second condition, I'd like to get out from the committee and then maybe ask the applicant for his response to that condition.
I appreciate the ability to speak. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. On that note about the 2 conditions that were attached to the previous application, so maybe just starting with the 2-bedroom condition. The reason we have not sought or not discussed that additional condition with staff this time around is because we're actually complying with that unit mix. The application has 30% of the units as 2-bedroom units, or I should say 29.6 or something like that. And then there is the ability to provide knockout panels within 4 of the units. If those are utilized, then those 4 would turn into 2 units, and then we would be hitting the 30%. I will just note that the original approval site-specific bylaw didn't require 30% 2 bedrooms. It was 15% plus 10% 3s, and then an additional 15% as a combination of 2s or 3s or adaptable units through the use of, for example, knockout panels. So the current proposal actually fully complies with the unit mix requirements in the original site-specific bylaw. Therefore, there's no need to attach that condition to this application.
Okay.
And then I'll note with respect to the Section 45.9, the original or the previous minor variance application had an increased GFA of approximately 3,500 square meters, so effectively reflecting the additional 5 floors that were proposed at that time. Given the magnitude of that particular variance, we had discussed with staff a Section 45.9 contribution, financial contribution in excess of the original 7.85 million Section 37 contribution. However, because of the current magnitude of this application, which is only about approximately 200 square meters of increased GFA, we specifically discussed with staff that a financial contribution was not required in this case, given that the increase in GFA was so minor as compared to the previous minor variance application. So our recommendation would be that there will be no conditions from planning attached, and I think I just want to highlight there is no memo from community planning. We did receive communication from them, and we've been speaking to them throughout the application process, that they are in support of having no conditions attached to the decision from their perspective, and they're not seeking a financial contribution over and above the original Section 37 contribution.
Oh, thank you for the explanation. Actually, very clear. Otherwise, it seems that those conditions are already either being addressed or is redundant at this moment. So thank you for addressing that. Yeah. Okay. Now we're back to
Madam Chair. Add to my comment. Thank you for that explanation. Again, I just want to confirm that when an application comes before the Committee of Adjustment, it's considered a new application. So we have to have regard for previous conditions, but I understand completely. So I'll withdraw those two other conditions. And I will, it suffice to say that you've spoken with the community planning and they've concurred that there's no further requirement regarding the agreement.
Through the chair, yes, I'll confirm. We have spoken and they have confirmed there's no requirement for additional conditions.
Thank you. I'm good with that.
Yes. So
We're
there's
back in committee?
Yes, but back in committee and the TDC conditions still, but then they overruled us anyway. You still have to comply with TDC requirement, despite what our decision is, I think. Okay. Any other, so do we have a motion or do we have some comments? Yeah, please. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll move a motion that the application and the variances be approved, subject to the TTC conditions. I have 2 and 5. I don't know if 5 is a condition, or a comment. We're waiting for Madam Secretary Treasurer.
2 and 4.
2 and 4? Okay, great. So 2 and 4.
Okay, we have a second to this motion? Okay, Katie Placier, second. All in favor of the TTC conditions unanimously approved.
Thank you very much.
For coming, yes. So we go back to 13 and...
So through you, Madam Chair, the applicant confirmed he's signing on. However, it's still under process, so perhaps we can move to item number 15.
Number 15 is I have to declare conflict, so I will leave the room now then.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, sure.
All right, I think we can proceed with item number 15. This is for 147 Major Street. The purpose of the application is to alter the existing 3-story semi-detached dwelling by constructing a 2-story addition, including a basement level, to a portion of the rear south wall. Also to construct a rear 2nd-story addition, enclosing the balcony into habitable space, and a rear 3rd-story addition with a balcony. The existing 1-story ancillary building, detached garage in the rear yard abutting the lane, will be maintained and unaltered. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, 4 plans and elevations, 4 photographs of trees on the subject property received February the 10th, 2026. We have letters in support, 2 form letters in support signed by the owner occupants of 145 Major Street, received February 26th, 2026, and 151 Major Street, received March 24th, 2026. Do we have the applicant here or available?
Yes, through you, Chair. The applicant is online and there are no registered speakers for this item.
Thank you.
Hi, it's Pino Lavecchia, 1348 Ogden Avenue, Mississauga.
All right, thank you. Go ahead. Well, actually, we don't have anyone in opposition, so do we need a presentation? No, I'm seeing that our panel members are saying we don't need a presentation, so unless you have something very, very abbreviated that you'd like to add, we can actually we'll have panel members queried as to whether they have any questions, and then we'll go in committee.
The only thing I wanted to say was that the attached unit beside, because it's a semi, is also owned by the same owners. So there's no worry about what the neighbors will be, whether they'll be concerned or not with the addition.
All right. Is that all you'd like to add at this point?
Yes.
Okay, great. Members, any questions of the applicant? Seeing none, we have no questions for you. So we will go in committee. Yes, Peter.
Thanks, Chair. I think this is a very straightforward application. The side yard setback is really an extension of an existing condition. And then all that's left is FSI. And I think that that's deployed in an acceptable way that reflects the type of redevelopment along this street. and it really minimizes impact to the neighbors. So I'll move approval of the application. I think it's a good one, without condition.
All right, thank you, Peter. I'll just add, I agree. There are only 2 variances required. I think the proposed alterations match the building length of the abutting property. The property's at 145 and 149, and I would support approval of this as well, but I'll look for a seconder for Peter's motion. Oh, all right. Member Crawford. And so we have a motion and a seconder, and can we vote on that? All in favor? All right, it's unanimous. Thank you very much. You have your approval.
Thank you.
And through you, Chair, we can go back to item number 13.
Okay,
The agent.
let's get Yin back in the room. Yeah, come back in.
Thank you. Okay, good.
Okay, now.
Okay. Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, we can go back to item number 13, where
Okay.
the agent is currently online.
Okay, great. We have already read the purpose, so let's go straight to the applicant. Is there another speaker, opposition? No, just one. Okay, thank you.
So the agent is currently online, and there are no speakers for this item.
Okay, thank you.
Sabar Hazan, you have been unmuted.
Yeah. No, I'm online. Yeah, I can hear you.
As we're so pleased to have to be able to connect with you. Okay, so it's not a contested application. It seems to be quite a straightforward application. So,
Yeah.
Give us your name and address, please. First, yeah.
My name is Mohammed Sabri Hassan. My own address is 1103 Dunbarton Road, Pickering, L1V484.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me see whether the panel wants to have a presentation. Okay. How about questions? No, we do not need a presentation. Neither do we have questions. So we are ready to make a decision on this. Do you have anything you want to address the panel?
No, this is pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Just little constraint on the width of the driveway existing to allow the minimum parking requirement, which is 1. And I think it's pretty straightforward because the existing driveway is capable enough to accommodate 3 parking tandem, but just the width is little short by 5 or 6 inch, I believe, in few locations. So that's the variance we are looking for. I think if the panel can agree and accept, that will be good.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you. We are in committee now. Yes.
I'm happy to take this one, Chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, only 2 variances. Variance 2 is extremely minor, and the first variance has full support from transportation, it looks like. So I see no issue with this, no adverse impacts whatsoever, very minor. So happy to move a motion to approve, no conditions.
Second? Yeah, Dino second. All in favor of no conditions. All in favor, unanimously approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you. 16 is defer, and item 17 is 186 Westminster Avenue. This is to alter existing 2.5-story detached, which is a houseplex by constructing a 2-story addition with a complete first floor addition and a front basement walkout and front and side cover porches and stair, and a rear ground floor deck and a rear 3rd-story balcony, and also to permit undersized front yard parking space. And there will be a total of 2 residential units on this lot. And we also received site plan, floor plan elevations, 9 photographs and presentation material from the agent. We also received comment from community planning and transportation engineering, and we received support from 8 letters of support from owners and occupants from 142, 147, 151, 184, and 197 Westminster Avenue, and also 186 Indian Road, and 3834 Hyde Park Boulevard. We also received oppositions from 133 and 188, 190, 196 from Westminster Avenue. So how many speakers we have here?
Through you, Chair, Madam Chair, we do have the agent here in person as well as one speaker in opposition. That's online.
That's online. Okay. Thank you. Get us your name and address, and you seem to have some opposition, so presentation is required. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Trevor Gain. I'm the agent here on behalf of the owners. Before I get started in my presentation, we'd just like to make 2 changes to our variances.
Okay, that's good. Let's go with that, yeah.
Variance number 4, which is side wall height, we're going to delete that altogether.
Okay, delete 4, okay.
And variance number 5, which is dealing building depth, we're going to reduce that down from 21.24 to 18.18.
Into 1.8, okay. And that's it?
That's it. That's the only change.
So we got all the revisions, right? Okay, thank you.
If I can get my presentation material up on the screen.
Yeah, let's get everything ready before we start the clock, okay.
So the application, as you mentioned, is basically to build, to renovate this existing 2.5-story house. We have a 2-story rear addition at the back, and we're proposing a whole new 3rd floor across the top. Basically, the rear addition is going to kick wider. We're going to cut the access into the backyard, so the parking in the rear yard will be removed, and we're going to put it in the front. And by doing so, we will now convert the entire backyard to backyard amenity space for the family.
Okay.
So I'll just run through the variances. Variance number 1 up on the screen, this is dealing with platform or porch height. This is an existing situation. Our main floor is 1.45 meters above grade, and our porch is right there. So unless we have a handful of steps that go down onto that porch, it's kind of irrelevant. So that's an existing situation. Next page, please. Variance number 2 is dealing with front yard landscaping. So this strip of houses, they're very close to the street. We have very small front yards. And as a result, the front yard landscaping is a sort of a product or ratio of deductions of driveway size and porch sizes. Our front yard area gets increased mainly because I mentioned that we're kicking the rear addition sideways. So now our rear addition, which is about 9.5 meters from the front property line, or the front corner of the house rather, that's also considered main front wall. So that's kind of skewing our numbers a little bit. But if we actually look on this graphic about the actual physical soft landscaping that you see, but you could put your feet on the top side, that's 184. Their soft landscaping is 10.7 square meters, or 78% of the front yard. We have ours, we're asking for 13.67. That's 46% in soft landscaping, compared to 188, which is directly west of ours. Their soft landscaping in the shaded area is 16.99, which is 86%. So when you compare the 3 houses, we're 3 square meters more than the neighbor to the east, 3 square meters less than the neighbor to the west. Both of those comply, but we don't. So it's just kind of how it's all calculated at the end of the day. Next page, please. So when we're dealing with parking spaces, we have a variance for front yard parking space, but this is not a front yard kind of boulevard space that you would see under variance Municipal Code 918. It's a technicality because we have a wall that faces it, so our parking space is in front of that rear addition. Like I mentioned, that wall is 9.5 meters to the north, and that's where our parking space is located. So it's not unheard of to have, to park on a driveway, whether you're parking on this driveway leading to the back or whether you're parking on here and we have an addition in front of us. Next page, please. We went through Google Street View and we just picked up photographs, and there's like 2 pages of just people parking in their driveway, whether that's a temporary basis, whether they drive to the back or whether they park there overnight. It's an existing situation. All these photographs are from Parkside to Indian Road in our immediate strip. We didn't even go all over the neighborhood. So I don't think parking where we're suggesting it is out of character. And further to that, next page, please. We have a memo here from Off-Street Parking, Mr. Blake Webb, and he confirmed that they have no objection to this front yard parking space simply because we are actually parking behind the wall that is closest to the street, so there's no conflict with Municipal Code 918. Next page, please. One more, sorry. This is dealing with building height. We'll just skip through this because, or sorry, wall height, because we deleted that. So keep going, keep going. One more. Just pause here. This is just for fun. I just wanted to point out this house is directly across the street. So what we're proposing is that we have a front porch, bay window, sloping roof with dormers, just like this house right here. We have a sloping roof at the back, presumably dormers on this house as well. And the side walls are full height walls. And that was exactly the same type of house that we're asking for approval today. So even though we no longer have a wall height variance, I just wanted to point it out that the proposed massing that we're offering for is not unique to our property, that you do see it up and down in the street. Next page, please. So the last variance we'll talk about is building depth. This is sort of a calculated variance. Building depth in this R district is measured from the required front yard setback. As I mentioned earlier, the houses are extremely close to the front property line, and our existing house is back. So what happens is that our existing house is 1.49 meters further north from the property line. That's triggering a variance. The original variance was generated because that rear deck at the back was excavated from the basement. We used it as a storage room. So that entire depth was measured there. Talking to the neighbors and the confusion, everything happened, we said, let's just delete it. We don't need it. So now the variance is measured to the above grade massing, and that's what we see in front of you. So I'll just wrap up quickly. Basically, front wall to back wall, if there was a building length issue in this zone, we're under 17 meters. So the house is designed as of right, but we're being penalized because the house is pushed back further.
I understand.
So all in all, I just want to say that most of these variants are either technical or generated based on site conditions, and we truly think this is minor.
Yes, thank you. So we will hold our question to you. Let's listen to the other speaker. Yeah.
Yeah. The speaker at 190 Westminster Avenue, you have been unmuted. Ariana?
Yes.
Oh. It seems you have multiple devices from your end. Can you please turn off all the other devices except one? Thank you. Yes, please go ahead.
Maybe she should turn off all yeah.
Hi, Miss Ariana. You have been unmuted. Let's try.
No.
Yeah, we can hear you. You can speak to the mic. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. We have a support letter, not only me.
Give us your name and address, please, first. Yeah.
Yes. My name, Irina Loganchuk. I am the owner of a duplex at 188-190 Westminster Avenue.
Okay.
I will speak. I want to begin with parking issue. We not agree with a proposal to remove existing private driveway with garage. The previous residents always use this private driveway and continue to use to function well. In addition, most of the neighbors in our block do not support front yard parking. The majority of the house private driveway or share side driveway with established character of the street. Parking in the front is not permitted and does not meet requirements. The proposed change would allow an addition on west side of the property, included separate entrance, porch, and stairs. We renovate our house in 2019, and we did not change the size or location of the windows. They remain on their original position and size. Our house has 8 windows on the east side, serving the bedroom and living room. The proposed addition exceeds the maximum height, but we changed it, and depth. It's extremely close to our property and would negatively impact our home by blocking our windows, reducing natural light, and affecting our privacy, security, and safety. It would also increase noise levels. There is no need a parking variance if a property already has functional private driveway. It's difficult to consider with minor changes. For our view, it's a major changes. For this reason, we can support this application. And we have a letter I sent to Committee of Adjustment with 8 houses to support this, my opinion. Westminster 197, you have a second letter, yeah? No, I sent it. Where is it? I sent to Committee of Adjustment. Support 187, 173, 196, 198, 200.
Yes, that's on the screen, right?
Yeah. It's everybody not support this application because of the parking. And parking, it's so narrow. It's very, no space between houses to go, 2.7 meters. And we have side back, just 1.5 feet.
Okay.
You know, and also it's already this. We have original Windows 8 on west side, serving the bedroom and living room.
Oh.
It will be. It's already dark. It will be not.
Okay. Yeah.
And for this reason, one can support this application. Thank you very much for your consideration.
So you have finished, right? So we do have a question here for you. Just, yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you to the individual, the deputant. And I apologize. I tried to follow your statement, and so if I've got this wrong, you can correct me. I think you mentioned height, and you mentioned how close the addition is to your property. Is that correct?
Yes, it's very close addition to our property.
Okay, so you're aware that variance number 4 has been eliminated, which is for exterior main wall height?
Yes,
okay.
But we still.
Hold on. I just wanted you to acknowledge you're aware that variance number 4 has been eliminated and variance number 5 has been revised. You also, I think, can acknowledge that there are no variances for side yard setback.
No, but we remove parking. We have variance number 3 and number 7.
So that's the variance, one of the variances that you're concerned about?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no more questions to this. Okay, any other speakers? All right, so we're back to the applicant. You have opportunity to respond to concerns, which is now left like apparently parking and some windows or something.
Right, thank you. Yeah. I'll just kind of try to make a list as best I could. She's talking about noise and up and down that driveway. So whether it's a driveway going to the backyard or whether there's a car parking there, it's still being used for the exact same purpose. As the member mentioned, we have no side yard setback for the addition. It is as of right. But the owner had a chance to, if he wanted to demolish this house and build a new house with an integral garage, that's an allowed use and building type on this property. There'd probably be no parking variances at all, be no landscaping variances, but it would be completely out of character in the High Park area. So we did try to harmonize the house and pick up on the major features of a house in High Park area. Could I get her presentation material on page 3 of hers? On that plan, she shows our floor plan and her floor plan side by side. This would be the opposition, the woman that just spoke. Yep, one backwards, maybe 2 back. The floor plans, one more. So she greatly put these side by side. Those are the 2 ground floor plans. And I think right on her plan, which is the bottom plan, there's like 2 sort of gray fuzzy areas, which she's showing the existing windows. So the first window kind of on the right, which looks like it's part of bedroom 2, That's the spatial separation that exists today. That's the existing wall, our wall to the north, her window to the, so whatever light or shadowing or whatever is happening there is gonna happen as it is. The next window to the left is by our addition, but you can see the location. It's right at the front corner of our rear addition. So sun tracks from the south to east to west. Any sun that's coming around is probably gonna go through that window as it is anyways. And like I mentioned, we have no side yard setbacks, so that isn't as of right. She talked about the proximity of that we're very close within 1.5 meters. Again, no side yard variances, but back in 2018, she went to committee of adjustment for this rear addition and she got approved for 37 centimeters. And that was okay for her at the time. Lastly, I guess about the parking spaces, like I said, this is not a front yard parking pad. We have 2 letters from transportation confirming that it's okay. 2.71 meters is the gap between our property line and our existing wall. There's another 32 centimeters to her wall. This is not a mutual driveway. These are private properties, so we can't rely on that 30-some centimeters. But realistically, I mean, she could put a fence there to block us if she so choose, but realistically she won't. She has 32 centimeters. If she puts a fence, that fence will be 15 centimeters off her property. And then she's gonna come back and she's gonna block even more of her sun, and she's not gonna be able to maintain her property and everything else that she mentioned. So realistically, we have just over 3 meters to park that car. And again, transportation is fine. I think that was it. I mean, I can I just, one other comment. I just wanted to talk about the soft landscaping again, because in the opposition letters, they were talking, they think we're just paving this thing solid, but I just want to highlight the existing soft landscaping that we have today in the front yard is 3.7 square meters, 22%, we're asking for 13.7. In the rear yard, we have 58 square meters of soft right now, and we're proposing 133 square meters because we're getting rid of the driveway. So we're increasing the soft landscaping on this property by 84 square meters, 240%. We're more than doing our share for absorption. And just to appease the committee, we have no problem if the committee wants to put a condition of approval that we can do permeable pavers on the driveway and the front walkway, just to increase that so. So I think I covered most of the questions.
Yes, I do have a question for you. It seems that with the correspondence from community planning or transportation, they agree that your proposed parking space on your site plan is not a front yard parking.
That's
right?
correct. So there is.
The question is, if that's the right, the question is variance number 3. You're still asking for front yard parking variance. Do you need it?
We need it because according to the zoning, that the front yard is in front of any wall that faces the street. So we have our house and we have our addition. That addition is 9-some meters away, but it still faces the street, so it's still considered main wall. And the parking space is in front of that main wall, thus the variance.
Okay, so consequently, then I would like to ask if we're going to approve it, can we tie the approval with the site plan, which indicating where this front yard parking is? Okay. Questions? Yeah. That's. Oh, one last very small questions, and I noticed that you have done the revision. So just to confirm, the drawings we received reflecting all these changes?
Yeah, there's no physical change to the application. It's just how the variances are measured. So we still have the deck, but the deck will now, in the basement plan, will say unexcavated. So if you simply just do not, you approve the revised building length, that will reflect.
Yeah, the sidewall is already reduced.
Yeah, the massing is exactly the same.
All right, thank you. That's all, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think this is an appropriate proposal. I understand the neighbors' concerns, but I'm looking at the site plan and the context for the neighbor at 190, and that building is fairly close to the property line in terms of the side yard setback internally. I am prepared to support this application. I think the application is an appropriate proposal. The building depth and length really matches those houses abutting to the west and to the east. And most of the proposed massing is to the rear and the west, which I think is also appropriate. In terms of the front yard landscaping, soft landscaping, it's not really changing, but the applicant is also proposing to remove the existing paving in the rear yard, which I think is apropos and supportable as well. Yeah, absolutely. Both Community Planning and Transportation Review have indicated they have no concerns with the proposed front yard parking spot. So I am prepared to move a motion approving the application, granting the now 6 variances, and this is an amended application as amended. And I don't think there are any conditions of approval unless I've missed any. Other than I will take the applicant's suggestion to add that permeable pavers be included in the driveway and the walkway. I think that's what you said.
Yes.
The new walkway and driveway, and also tied to the site plan.
Yeah, tied to site plan. Yeah,
Okay,
thank you, Madam Chair.
permeable walkway and driveway, okay.
Yeah.
That's the motion, okay, the two together. Okay, yeah, Ms. Crawford, yeah. Second, and then just wait a second, let me do this. All in favor of the amended application. Thank you with the conditions. Yeah, thank you coming in, yeah. So I think that is the morning session.
Through you, Madam Chair, yes.
Yes,
We'll break at
so-
12:47 PM. We'll resume at 2 PM.
2 p.m., okay. Thank you.
Please turn off your videos, microphones. Please mute the room.